They went on to win the Europa League that season. And that is the ultimate goal for these two teams tonight. They're swapping ends. One thing we spotted actually, Paul, in the warm-up that was quite interesting. Manchester United were warming up in the half away to our left as we look at it from our commentary position. And the Fenerbahçe players went running through the Manchester United players to go and sort of greet their fans in the stand away to our left.
Well, the fans play a huge, integral part of this team. And as you can hear now, the boos ring around this stadium because Manchester United have gone into that familiar huddle that teams do before kickoffs. And it certainly hasn't been received very, very well by the local supporters. Martinez actually won the toss and he's turned the home team round to play unfamiliarly to them. They're going to play from right to left, which they normally don't in the first half here.
Just about ready to go. Chelsea 4-1 winners away to Panathinaikos in the Europa Conference League. 2 wins out of 2 for them. Hearts have beaten Omonia Nicosia 2-0. 2 wins out of 2 for them in the Europa Conference League as well. We'll keep you updated on Tottenham against AZ Alkmaar and Rangers against FCSB at Ibrox in the Europa League tonight. But the noise levels tell you everything. The game is finally underway. The stadium is bouncing as Fenerbahçe clear from their own penalty area, and Manuel Ugarte gets a first touch of the night, and Manchester United play back to their goalkeeper, Andre Onana, who the last time we were in Istanbul less than a year ago did not really distinguish himself in the game against Galatasaray. Manchester United led 2-0 and 3-1 on the night, but a couple of Onana mistakes meant it finished 3-3. Diogo Dalot, good burst down the right-hand side, looking for the 1-2 with Rashford. Dalot felt his path was blocked. The referee doesn't agree, and it is Fenerbahçe who are going to restart the game with a free kick because Sofiane Amrabat was knocked off his feet. If these noise levels continue like this throughout the evening, Paul Robinson, we will have no voice left by half-time.
It's hard to concentrate on the game, too busy watching the crowd. Not a single person is sat down, everybody's bouncing up and down. The noise levels are absolutely incredible. But actually looking at the game, the talking point before the game was how Manchester United are actually going to shape up, and it does look like Mazraoui is going to play in that number 10 role, more advanced, which is surprising. Eriksen's pushed a little bit more advanced, but Dalot is slotting in at right back, Martinez at left back, and Mazraoui seemingly starting as a number 10 behind Joshua Zirkzee.
Both managers out on the edge of the pitch. The jeers and whistles for Manchester United possession. I'll run you through the two teams again in just a second. Let's concentrate on the football. They're 90 seconds in. Fenerbahçe 0, Manchester United 0. Cacophonous noise inside this stadium as Onana plays forward into the Manchester United half to Ugarte. Out to the left to Lisandro Martinez, the Argentine, who continues at left back. En-Nesyri goes chasing the back pass into the Manchester United penalty area, and Victor Lindelof, making a first start of the season for Manchester United, gets them out of trouble. Back it comes to the goalkeeper. You cannot hear yourself thinking here. Onana, floated ball out to the right, beautifully controlled by Dalot, and Manchester United have started pretty well. We're only 2 minutes in. Jose Mourinho in the smart dark suit, pacing up and down the touchline, way below our vertiginous viewpoint here in Istanbul. Istanbul and Fenerbahçe of Istanbul have won possession, and it's their centre-back, Alexander Djiku, who plays across to the former Leicester man, Çağlar Soyuncu. A familiar Fenerbahçe midfield, 2 former Manchester United men in there. Sofiane Amrabat, on loan from Fiorentina here this season as he was at United last season, plays the ball back to Djiku. It goes wide to the Polish international Szymanski. Szymanski finds the former Newcastle man Alan Sim-Maximin, who wears number 97 here for Fenerbahçe, and Manchester United chasing the ball at the moment but keeping Fenerbahçe inside their own half. Sim-Maximin on the halfway line slides a pass across in the direction of Fred. Garnacho reads it and intercepts. Let's give you this Manchester United team quickly. Andre Onana in goal, Dalot at right back, De Ligt and Lindelof the 2 centre-backs, Martinez is left back tonight, Eriksen and Ugarte in central midfield, Casemiro is on the bench, as is Rasmus Højlund, Rashford wide right, Garnacho, the informed Garnacho wide left, and Mazraoui in the number 10 role, the Moroccan international, playing off Zirkzee. Header back to Onana. Had the Fenerbahçe fans interested for a second, but Onana quick off his line, grabs it and holds on to it, And you know when Manchester United have the ball, because the fans are going to do this every single time.
I really hope the atmosphere is coming through the effects mic for our listeners tonight. It's just an incredible cacophony of noise, like you said. Not a single person sat on the seat. The atmosphere is incredible. But you give Manchester United credit so far in this game. We're only 3-4 minutes into the game, but they've tried to dominate possession. They've tried to take the sting out of the game, and that's what they've got to do in away games. They didn't do that necessarily in Porto. They got a couple of early goals, then lost the flow of the game, and they let the crowd and the opponents get on top of them. Here you can see they're trying to keep possession, much to the dislike of the home fans.
Former England goalkeeper Paul Robinson here with us in Istanbul. There is Bright Asay Samuel starting at right back for Fenerbahçe tonight. He's fouled, wins a free kick inside his own half. Dominik Livakovic, the Croatian international, is Fenerbahçe's goalkeeper. So Asay Samuel is the right back, Muldur, the Turkish international, at left back, Alexander Djiku, Çalhanoğlu Soyuncu, the two centre backs, Fred and Amrabat in central midfield, Dusan Tadic, Sebastian Szymanski and Alan Saint-Maximin in support of the Moroccan international Youssouf En-Nesyri, the centre forward who put paid to Manchester United's hopes in the Europa League a couple of seasons ago, scoring 2 in a 3-0 win for Sevilla as they knocked United out in the quarter-finals. Here's Fred on the right, flicks a little ball over his shoulder. Asay Samuel, little drag back here inside the United penalty area, tries to squeeze it in at the near post, hits the side netting, and it goes behind for a goal kick. Early stages of Rangers FCSB at Ibrox. Ailey Barber.
And FCSB have had the ball in the back of the net and it has not counted, and Jack Butland is a very, very lucky boy. He took his time on the ball. Miculescu took it off his toes, popped it into the empty net, but the referee has given a foul on the Rangers goalkeeper. So it is still Rangers 0, FCSB 0.
Still Fenerbahçe 0, Manchester United 0. Onana has the ball at his feet. What about Tottenham AZ Alkmaar? John Southall.
Tottenham 0, Alkmaar 0, but great chance for 17-year-old Mikey Moore. 5 yards out, guided the header wide. Tottenham 0, AZ 0.
Manchester United have given the ball away. Here come Fenerbahçe in the yellow and blue. Saint-Maximin with the dancing feet, the twinkle toes into the penalty area. Dalot watches the ball and knocks it behind for the first Fenerbahçe corner of the night. Paul Robinson.
Said about Manchester United trying to dominate possession, trying to take this thing out of the game. Fenerbahçe have cottoned onto that early doors. They put the high press on immediately. They put pressure on Andre Onana, the Manchester United goal. Stop them playing out. Saint-Maximin pressing, Tadic pressing, El-Nesri pressing, win the ball back, and they've got themselves a corner.
Talk about home support. This is something else. 6 minutes in, Fenerbahçe 0, Manchester United 0. Corner's going to come in from the left. Sebastian Szymanski, the Polish international, with his left foot, and away swinger Xerxes Klein didn't get a head on it. The ball's loose. Driven shot on the left foot from Fred is well wide of the target, and behind it goes for the goal kick to Manchester United. It must be one of those games, Paul, and like I say, you've played European football in this city. I don't know how much you enjoy it while you're doing it, but in terms of something to look back on and when you get through it, it must be something to really treasure as a memory.
Oh, it's an incredible hostile atmosphere, some good and some bad memories. I mean, the atmospheres that you play in abroad and away from home, especially here in Turkey, they're infamous for the noise levels, for the crowd participation. As we said tonight, we've gone on about it from the kick-off, but it really is an intimidating atmosphere. Andre Onana in the Manchester United goal, he's so close to those Fenerbahçe fans, and what they do so well and cleverly here in the stadium, they put the Manchester United fans high away up into the corner. The home fans surround both sides and behind both goals. The noise comes from all angles. It really is incredible.
A slight stoppage in play. Dusan Tadic felt he was caught playing a ball forward, a high foot from Mazraoui. The referee didn't see it, as thus stopped the game and has given Manchester United the ball back to restart. And here's Onana, all in green, way down on that pitch beneath us in his blue boots, driving a long ball forward into the Fenerbahçe half. Xerxes wins the header, but Djiku is there. In fact, it's Fred who nips in and just prods the ball back to his goalkeeper Livakovic, and Fenerbahçe start to build the play inside their own half from just outside their own penalty area. Amrabat was involved. Djiku plays it across to Soyuncu, the former Leicester man, FA Cup winner in his time at the club. Brief spell at Atletico Madrid, now enjoying his football here at Fenerbahçe, who found Szymanski on the left. Plays back to Muldur. Djiku just inside his own half for the home team. Muldur dummies a pass with his left foot, flicks it to his right-hand side. Djiku straight up the middle of the pitch to Fred. Ugarte comes to close this down for Manchester United. A warm welcome, by the way, to all our listeners on BBC Radio Manchester this evening. You can find us on 5 Live, the BBC Sounds app, BBC Radio Manchester as well. Rashford with an interception inside the Fenerbahçe half. Xerxes gives it back to him. Rashford's cross into the penalty area is dealt with, and Szymanski is hurried into a pass out of his own box. Saint-Maximin again with those clever feet, but this time he's lost it. Ugarte had won it for a second, flicks the pass to his right. Saint-Maximin has taken it off him, and suddenly he's on the move, and Manchester United are backpedaling. Saint-Maximin, little layoff to Tadic, central position, 25 yards out, rolls the pass across to Szymanski, cross into the far post. Onana stretches, didn't get there. The ball still loose inside the Manchester United box. Another trick from Saint-Maximin, who goes tumbling, but he sent himself to the floor. He's not trying to win a penalty there. That is going to be a goal kick for Manchester United. But there you could see the danger of Fenerbahçe and the danger of Alan Saint-Maximin.
Saint-Maximin, we know he's got that pace and the ability on the counter-attack. Wins possession deep in his own half, very quickly turns defence into attack. Szymanski down this left-hand side, he actually whips the ball across Andre Onana's goal. He looks like he's coming out flailing Andre Onana, but actually he gets the tiniest of touches and takes it off the centre-forward's head. That second look at it on the monitor, he does really, really well just to touch it.
Coming up to 10 minutes played in the first half. Fenerbahçe 0, Manchester United 0. Still 0-0 between Tottenham and AZ Alkmaar and Rangers and FCSB. As I said, third consecutive night of European football on the station tonight. International football tomorrow night, live from Wembley, 7:30 kickoff. Vicky Sparks with the commentary alongside Gilly Flaherty and Nikita Paris. That is England against Germany in a showpiece friendly at Wembley, and then we're back into the Premier League action at the weekend. Fenerbahçe starting to build with Mulder inside the Manchester United half. Amrabat plays to his right. Goal at Rangers, I'm hearing. Hang on a second there, because Saint-Maximin has it on the left. Let's get to Elie Baba.
And after thinking they perhaps have gone behind for that goal not to count, it is Rangers who take the lead here at Ibrox. And once again, Tom Lawrence, the man with the finish. Brilliant build-up, really cool finish, and it is Rangers 1, FCSB 0.
Well, sounds like it's bouncing there, certainly bouncing here. Here's Saint-Maximin, who's seen more and more of the ball in this first half. Paul, what did you just spot there a second ago?
I just can't believe how high Asai Samuel is playing the right back. It's almost like there are 3 out of possession. It's something that they've clearly worked on, Fenerbahçe, with Mulder, the 2 centre-halves, going as a 3. And Samuel pushes really, really high when Fenerbahçe are in possession. That's causing Manchester United problems in their left-back area.
Manchester United have conceded 17 goals in their last 5 away games in Europe. It is something they have got to stop. At the moment, 0-0 here against Fenerbahçe. Mazraoui stretches to try and win a ball on the halfway line. Can't control that on the half volley. Fred is there and plays back to his goalkeeper, Livakovic. And Fenerbahçe have it with Fred. Cross to Soyuncu as the chants start rhythmically around the ground again. Djiku gets it from Soyuncu. Xerxes puts the pressure on, runs towards Livakovic, the Fenerbahçe keeper. Low pass from him out to the left. Little 1-2 here between Mulder and Djiku. Djiku on the edge of his own penalty area. Xerxes just walks towards him, so no real pressure there. Mulder then plays it down the left to Szymanski. And Fenerbahçe enjoying a measure of possession at the moment. Fred's longer ball forward, looking for Asai Samuel, as you say, Paul, who's basically right wing.
He's playing as a right winger when they're in possession. He's got a great engine. We know he can get up and down. Out of possession, he drops straight back into a back 4 as a normal right back. But in possession, they're playing with a back 3, Fenerbahçe, and allowing Samuel to really bomb on down that right-hand side. Manchester United, on the other hand, we talked about Mazraoui playing in that number 10 role. We're almost 12 minutes into the game. We've hardly mentioned his name. He's had no impact whatsoever in that position.
Yeah, new thing for Manchester United tonight. Højlund and Casemiro on the bench. Bruno Fernandes, of course, suspended. Johnny Evans couldn't make it, and Erik ten Hag listed off 10 first-team players currently injured and unavailable to him. Fenerbahçe keep possession. Rashford closes that down. Mulder to Djiku. Djiku turns, goes back to his goalkeeper Livakovic. Game has just settled in the last couple of minutes. Noise levels have dropped ever so slightly. Can see the old spider cam swinging around above the players' heads above the pitch as Livakovic receives that ball again inside his own box, drives it out to the right to Asai Samuel, who leaps, nods it straight in the air. Martinez gets a couple of touches on the ball, but it runs to Fred, who suddenly sees space for Szymanski. Decent first touch, Rashford back, drags him to the floor. Rashford's going to get booked, and Fenerbahçe get the free kick. Paul Robinson.
Yeah, he took one for the team there, Rashford, didn't he? Szymanski got the wrong side of him. Really good play again on the right-hand side with Samuel playing high up. Decent ball infield to Szymanski. Szymanski's going to be the one that they look for as the playmaker, and he's driving towards the edge of the 18-yard box of Manchester United. Marcus Rashford just wraps his right arm around him and pulls him down.
Free kick Fenerbahçe, taken by Amrabat. Rangers leading FCSB, Steaua Bucharest as they used to be known, who have actually started with 2 wins out of 2 in this competition, but Rangers leading them by a goal to nil at Ibrox. Still Tottenham nil, AZ Alkmaar nil. Here's Sam Maximan for Fenerbahçe. This is Fenerbahçe nil, Manchester United nil, live in Istanbul. Tadic is down again, hurt. He was caught. The referee's playing an advantage here. He nods to say he spotted the challenge, but Amrabat threads a lovely ball through to Fred. Ugarte in quickly to take it off Fred. Little 1-2 with Eriksson, forward to Xerxes, promising for Manchester United. Garnacho, first proper run for him tonight down the left-hand side, into the penalty area, cut back here, layoff from Mazraoui, Xerxes back to Eriksson, who finds the top corner and silences the stadium and the Fenerbahçe fans in Istanbul. He scored a fabulous goal against FC Twente in this competition a few weeks ago, and he's done it again. Manchester United took their time in the build-up, found the right pass, and found the right man with the finish. Fenerbahçe nil, Manchester United 1.
That's brilliant from Manchester United. A real counter-attack, a sucker punch for Fenerbahçe. They looked like he'd lost possession. United won it back, and in 2 or 3 passes they were down the other end, and it's a fantastic finish by Christian Eriksen. It really is. Worked well down the left-hand side, and how many times do we see Garnacho do this? He drives at the centre half, Söyüncü. He plays a simple ball into the middle to Mazraoui. You think, what's he doing? You think he's got a bad touch, but his touch is really clever. Lays it into Xerxes, who in turn, one touch, lays it back to the edge of the box. Christian Eriksen, inside of his foot, closes his right foot, drifts the ball away into the goalkeeper's top right-hand corner. Manchester United on the counter-attack. Really, really good build-up. Classic counter-attack, smash and grab, away goal.
That is what you describe as an emphatic finish. That is exactly what Erik ten Hag needed. We can't see his face. I can only see the back of the Manchester United manager at the moment in his gilet tonight, arms crossed. But he must be absolutely delighted with the start his team has made, because they were under pressure for sort of 5, 6, 7 minutes or so there. But as you say, have absolutely whacked Fenerbahçe with a Quicksilver counter-attack and lead this game by a goal to nil. Amrabat's ball hits Fred in the face, and Ugarte is able to get a toe on it and prod it to Martinez. Mazraoui, pace on the pass back to Lindelof. It comes all the way back to the Manchester United goalkeeper, Onana.
It was a great first touch by Mazraoui in that build-up to the goal. A little layoff to Xerxes. It looked like the ball had come into him from Garnacho. It looked like it just had a big touch inside the box, but it wasn't. It was a perfectly weighted pass into Xerxes, who in turn found Eriksson. And what a fabulous finish.
Mazraoui starting to settle. Maybe Bruno Fernandes got to start worrying about his place. Alejandro Garnacho is down. He was caught. Manchester United win the free kick. In terms of the Europa League goals in the 8 o'clock kickoffs, Rangers and Manchester United are the only 2. In the Europa Conference League, there have been some goals. Real Betis lead Copenhagen by a goal to nil. Legia Warsaw 1-0 up away to Baka Topola, and Olimpia Ljubljana 1-0 up against Lask. Quick tour of the continent for you there, as Manchester United lead here in Istanbul by a goal to nil. Sam Maximan twisting and turning. Dalot enjoying the battle. Too strong for Sam Maximan this time. Wins the ball. Finds Mazraoui. Mazraoui, couple of touches, nearly got away from him. Pokes it to Rashford. Dalot, calm, under pressure inside his own half. Runs to his left and floats a pass across to Martinez. He plays back to Lindelof, and Manchester United quite happy to knock it about inside their own half, and then Onana goes with a longer one up towards Rashford. He's beaten in the air. Dalot controls the ball in the right back position. Fenerbahçe have won it. Dalot couldn't find Rashford down the right there. Fred forward, misplaced pass, didn't see Tadic, and Manchester United are away again. And this is a carbon copy, because Garnacho's on the move on the left-hand side, running in towards that penalty area. Fred is back, makes the challenge. Garnacho claims corner, but the referee says goal kick.
It's going to be a real threat tonight, Garnacho, if he's deployed in that way. As soon as Manchester United get the turnover of possession, the space is there because Samuel's allowed to bomb on so far forward. We spoke about that earlier on in the game, about the Fenerbahçe right back in possession for them. He's allowed to push so high up the pitch. Manchester United get the turnover as they did for the goal. There's so much space for Garnacho down that left-hand side, and the space of Garnacho, the pace of Garnacho and Rashford on the flanks can cause Fenerbahçe so many problems if they deploy it as they did for the goal.
Good performance so far from Manchester United, who were impressive in the second half against Brentford on Saturday, coming back to win that one 2-1. This one would be a real confidence booster for the team and the manager as well, ahead of a game away to West Ham in the Premier League on Sunday. We got commentary on that on 5 Live. It kicks off at 2 o'clock. Our 4:30 commentary on Sunday is Arsenal against Liverpool, as Jiku side foots a pass to Soyuncu. Forward to Fred. Fred's diagonal pass finds Amrabat just inside the Manchester United half. Mazraoui closes him down. Fenerbahçe play back. Soyuncu to the right. Uses Osei Samuel, who brings the ball in from that right-hand touchline. But Fenerbahçe not making any progress into the Manchester United half. Back they come again.
Do you know what? It hasn't taken the crowd long in certain parts next to us, especially up here in the commentary position, in the press box, getting frustrated with the Fenerbahçe players already for going backwards, sideways, recycling the ball rather than going forward.
Coming up to 20 minutes played. First half here. Fenerbahçe 0, Manchester United 1. Christian Eriksen with the goal for United. Mazraoui, simple pass that was to Ugarte, got it wrong, overhit it. Tadic is able to intercept. Osei Samuel dribbling down the right, bit of space to work with. Step over into the box, lays it back to Tadic. Manchester United trying to close it down. Tadic with a left-footed strike, pace taken off it, and it's easily saved by Onana. Lots of changes for Tottenham tonight. They're at home to AZ Alkmaar in the Europa League. John Southall.
Yeah, 9 Ali, Tottenham 0, AZ 0. We've had a Maddison 20-yarder straight to the keeper, and for AZ, Cassius, great ball on the right across the 6-yard box, somehow evaded 3 AZ players. Tottenham 0, AZ Alkmaar 0.
De Ligt back to Onana. Onana thumps it forward with his right foot, intercepted by Amrabat on the volley. Mulder turns it round the corner to the left to Sam Maximin, who holds off De Ligt here, but Fenerbahçe keep the ball, and Amrabat is the next to receive it. Bit of purpose about this, moving it forward to Fred, into the feet of Tadic. Tadic's second season here at Fenerbahçe. Always a great contributor wherever he goes. 6 goals so far this season, 16 last season. Scored a bucket load under Erik ten Hag at Ajax as well, as Amrabat into the feet here of Fred. Fred's lost it, Ugarte's got it for Manchester United. Goes back to his goalkeeper Onana. En-Nesyri goes chasing. Onana draws him in and then clears with his right foot up towards the halfway line. Mulder heads it forward, and here's Eriksen on the ball for Manchester United. Holds off the challenge. Makes a strong run forward as well. Good support from Rashford on the right-hand side. Rashford has got defenders backpedaling. Works it onto his left foot. Hits the shot. Oh, just wide of the far post. Didn't quite have the curl on it to find the bottom corner. And it goes behind for the goal kick. Back to Ibrox, Ailey Barber.
Where Rangers still lead by 1-0. That Tom Lawrence goal early on, and they are playing like a team with a point to prove. Disappointment at the weekend, losing to Kilmarnock, but they have started here really, really strongly, and it is Rangers 1, FCSB 0.
Fenerbahçe 0, Manchester United 1. Very nearly 2-0 there, Paul Robinson.
Did brilliantly, Marcus Rashford. Again, it was the threat of the pace on the counter-attack. Rashford down this right-hand side, cuts in on his left foot. You think he's going to get the shot, but he just has that extra touch, opens the goal up. And to be fair to him, he does really well to concentrate, because just as he's about to pull the trigger, a plastic bottle came flying down from the crowd somewhere. It was nowhere near Marcus Rashford, it must have been in his eye line. Hit his shot just wide of the far post, but again, another great opportunity with the pace that Manchester United have on the counter-attack.
Midway through the first half here in Istanbul, Manchester United leading Fenerbahçe in the Europa League, looking for their first win in this new-look competition, just like the Champions League. 36-team table. Those who finish in the top 8 after 8 games will automatically go through to the last 16. Ball bounces in front of Szymanski. Cut back across the face of goal. Oh, what a brilliant block! That was headed for the Manchester United net. And somehow, who was that who got the block in there?
Dalot, I think.
Dalot slid in to block. Incredible. 6 yards out. That was an open goal, and I was sure it was going to be a Fenerbahçe equaliser. Szymanski's cross across the face of goal. Onana was left stranded, and the Manchester United man appeared out of absolutely nowhere to make a block on the shot, and Manchester United remain 1-0 in front.
Well, El Nasseri, he had an empty net to put it in, didn't he? It was a cutback from this left-hand side. Onana's come out with two hands. He hasn't quite got purchase on it. He's pushed it into his 6-yard box, and El Nasseri, all he's got to do is tap into his empty net. But Dalot slides across him on the blind side from nowhere and makes one of the best blocks you'll see this season. That was an incredible block.
Manchester United under pressure. Szymanski on the left, low cross into the penalty area, intercepted by Lindelof this time, and behind it goes for a corner. Manchester United still lead 1-0.
What an incredible block. I mean, we've not had a chance to see the replay yet, but El Nasseri is still walking around the 6-yard box with his head in his hands. It was a cutback from this left-hand side. It was a great ball in. First time ball across the box. Onana makes a bit of a mess of it, and Dalot turns up on his blind side, throws his body across. No, it's Ugarte. It's not Dalot. I'm giving Dalot unwarranted credit. It was Ugarte, the midfielder's block.
Corner for Fenerbahçe, delivered by Szymanski. Easy one to head away. Rashford slightly slices a clearance, doesn't get it downfield. Saint-Maximin's onto it. Low ball from him is a poor one. Fenerbahçe fans don't like that. Eriksen does volley this one away, and it goes out for a throw-in. So Manuel Ugarte starting a game for Manchester United for the first time since the 3-0 defeat at home to Tottenham, and yet to really impress the Manchester United fans. That will do a lot to win them over, because he did not give that up, threw himself in the way of the ball, and has kept Manchester United in front.
As I say, had a tap into an empty net, and he turns up on his blind side on his right shoulder, comes sliding across from nowhere, must slide 3 or 4 yards, puts his body on the line in front of goal. We're not exaggerating, he's 3 or 4 yards from goal, isn't he? It's just an incredible sliding block. You won't see a better block this season.
Fenerbahçe think they've scored there, basically. They're almost wheeling away to celebrate, and Ugarte out of nowhere appears and makes the block. Fred's ball with his right foot finds Asai Samuel. Asai Samuel making ground down the right. Szymanski's in space in the middle. Little chip ball into the box. Fred stretches, gets a touch, but can't bring it under control, and it goes behind for the goal kick. And the pass into Szymanski possibly might have been the easier one to pull off, and the Pole is making exactly that point to his teammate. At the moment, Alexander Lacazette has scored for Lyon in the Europa League. They lead Besiktas by a 1-0, and in the Conference League, Heidenheim a 1-up away to Paphos. Chelsea 4-1 winners at Panathinaikos, and Hearts 2-0 winners against Ammonia Nicosia. So both Chelsea and Hearts 2 wins out of 2 in that fledgling Champions League table. The top 3 are English teams: Villa, Liverpool and Manchester City after the Champions League action this week. Xerxes caught a painful one on his foot, Jose Mourinho. That's our first close-up of him in the first half. Things not quite going his way. He's got a proper scowl on. He's got a sort of zip-up jumper underneath the dark suit tonight. I mean, he does look well, Paul, I have to say.
He always looks well, doesn't he? He always looks well.
Yeah.
He loves the cameras. He loves the occasion, doesn't he?
Yeah. I think living in a 5-star hotel on the banks of the Bosphorus probably does something for you, doesn't it?
Shall we give it a go?
Living the life. Oh, I'd love to, Paul. I'd love to. Well, we have experienced a bit of Istanbul this afternoon. We've got a break in play at the moment because Xerxes receiving treatment. The Lacazette goal's been ruled out by VAR, so it remains Lyon 0, Besiktas 0. A couple of our team, I won't say who, went to get a haircut at a Turkish barber's. I tell you, they're looking smart, Paul.
They are.
Not me, not you.
Well, the fact that we're saying they, it certainly wasn't us two, was it? But no, it was great, wasn't it? Just have a little wander out, have a coffee this afternoon by the Bosphorus, and a really interesting, lovely city to see some of the Fenerbahçe fans travelling from the northern side of the city across to the southern side on the boats, coming off in the thousands, and the fans just gradually amassing for this game, and the atmosphere just slowly building all afternoon outside our hotel.
Yeah. And the plate of food that was put in front of us last night that arrived in about 2 minutes flat after ordering it, salads, meats, breads, etc. Oh, goodness me.
And the two who had the haircuts had a good go at that as well, didn't they?
They certainly did. Right, 27 minutes gone in the first half. We're back underway. If you are just joining us, 5 Live, BBC Sounds and BBC Radio Manchester. It's going well for Erik ten Hag and Manchester United. They lead 1-0. Christian Eriksen with a fabulous finish. Brilliant counter-attack from the away team. Here they come again. Martinez. Stocky little Argentine sweeps it out low to fellow Argentine Garnacho. Bit of trickery from him. Back to the Uruguayan Ugarte, who made that crucial block 5 minutes or so ago. Into the Manchester United half it comes. Lindelof to Onana, just outside his penalty area. hurried into playing it forward long. Rashford's beat in the air. Dalot heads it forward. Djikou intercepts for Fenerbahçe. Saint-Maximin brings it under control, and Mulder just side foots the ball back to his centre-back Djikou. Paul.
You know, this year, Ali, Onana, he's really starting to win me over and convince me. I think his performances when he first came into the Manchester United side, there was a lot of questions, and I myself, you analyse his game, you look at the goals he concedes, and it's difficult sometimes to settle into the Premier League, and at times it's obviously when you're playing in a side that's struggling and conceding goals, it's even harder. But this season, I think his performances, and you can see in his body language and in his demeanour, when the ball goes back to him, nobody's on edge anymore, and he seems a lot more relaxed, a lot more comfortable, and he's the goalkeeper I think everybody expected him to be.
Great football from Manchester United, working it forward. Mazraoui's ball finds Garnacho, central position, sees Dalot in space on the right. Couple of touches from Dalot, heads for the byline, little clip to the far post here, looking for Mazraoui. The ball is headed away, Eriksen's there, on the bounce, nods it down to his left here. Martinez across to Eriksen. Manchester United offering a real threat on the counter-attack tonight, leading this game by a goal to nil. Dalot slides in Rashford on the angle, gets the cross in, Szymanski blocks, and Manchester United win a corner.
Sorry, Ali, that's how they've set up Manchester United, isn't it? They're not too worried about Fenerbahçe having possession in their own half. When they do go forward, they spring the trap, they set the trap. They're playing defensive Manchester United, but they're allowing Fenerbahçe possession where it's not going to hurt them. And when it is, they put the press on the wing, the turnover, and they know they've got Rashford, they know they've got Garnacho, and the pace on the counter-attack, which is where they've got their joy tonight.
Goal scorer Christian Eriksen gets ready to take the corner. 4 Manchester United players in a line right in the middle of the Fenerbahçe box. Deep one from Eriksen towards the far post. The climb from De Ligt. The ball drops in front of Garnacho. Cleared away. Referee took a long time to think about that, then decided De Ligt had fouled his man, used him as leverage to get up in the air. So he's given Fenerbahçe a free kick. That was one of the quotes, actually, Paul, that stuck out from Erik ten Hag at his press conference last night, talking about the experience, despite the injuries, that Manchester United have in this starting 11, that they have in this squad, that should be capable of coping with an occasion like this.
Yeah, managers like talking about injuries and players that they've got missing, which is understandable. You know, he's not lying. The players that aren't here are there for all to see. But when you look at the starting 11 that they've got, how experienced they are, the quality that they've got in the team, and then you look at the bench, Højlund, Ahmad, Casemiro and Anthony, they have got strength and depth at the manager's disposal this evening.
Here's Amrabat. Left-footed pass to Szymanski. Inside his own half, he's lost it to Eriksen. Manchester United sense another opportunity. Rashford to Eriksen. Dalot gets involved again inside right channel. Pass forward is blocked. He was looking for Mazraoui. The ball runs to Rashford, who stops for a second here, surrounded by yellow and blue shirts, and then floats a long ball back into the Manchester United half. And Onana has come sprinting out of his penalty area into the left-back position. Got to be careful here. Gives it a good meaty clump with his left foot downfield, and it drops in front of Asai Samuel. He's going to let that bounce back to Tottenham. John Southall.
Tottenham nil, AZ nil. Chance apiece. Timo Werner on the left of the area, unmarked, straight at Owusu Adura, the keeper. No conviction in that. Here comes Tottenham now. Is that a penalty? No, the referee says corner. And Fraser just saw a great save from Fraser, forced her to deny Penetra. Tottenham nil, AZ nil.
Another goal at Ibrox, Ali Baba.
And Rangers have doubled their lead here. Václav Černý pouncing on a loose touch in the centre of midfield, driving forward and unleashing a beautiful curling effort from the edge of the box. FCSB were just coming back into this game, but Rangers have stopped them in their tracks, and it's Rangers 2, FCSB 0.
Shouldn't forget as well, Manchester United against Rangers in January at Old Trafford in the penultimate group game for both teams in this table. As I was saying earlier, 36 teams, just like the Champions League. Top 8 finishers go straight through to the last 16. 9th to 24th go into those two-legged playoffs to try and win a place in the last 16. Fred looking for a 1-2 with En-Nesyri. En-Nesyri wins it back for Fenerbahçe. Tadic suddenly sees space on the right. The offside flag is up, and Manchester United will get the free kick. And they've kept En-Nesyri pretty quiet so far this evening. Ugarte needed that one brilliant block to deny him.
Yeah, De Ligt and Lindelof, they've tandemed well, and I think Martinez as well. He's done well against Samuel on that left-hand side. Dalot at right back, they've looked a unit, they've looked a lot better than they did at Porto. The cohesion, the understanding has been there, and I think the communication from Onana behind them has helped as well. He's been very, very close to them the whole half. He's been behind them, talking. And the big thing for me that I'm watching about Manchester United, what I'm seeing now, they're not always looking to play short. Onana's kicked a few goal kicks long. We see them putting the ball at risk too many times, but this evening in an away performance, they have gone longer from the goalkeeper.
Mature performance so far from Manchester United. They lead 1-0. Sandro Martinez out to Garnacho, such a bright spark for United, does well, finds the run of Mazraoui. Mazraoui's up to the edge of the box here. Mazraoui just dangles a right foot over the ball. Dalot suddenly popped up, pass just behind him. Fenerbahçe have a chance to bring it away down the right, looking for the runners through the middle. Fred is one of those. He's run to the right-hand side. Ball brought up to the halfway line here by Tadic, and then played across to the Turkish international Mert Muldur, who quickly gives it to Saint-Maximin, drops a shoulder, brings the ball in field, fires a pass towards Amrabat. Amrabat rolls it across to Soyuncu, 30 yards out, thinking about a shot for a second there, decided against it, stopped in his tracks, plays back to Asai Samuel, and Asai Samuel just side-foots a short pass to Amrabat, who's 10 yards inside the Manchester United half in the yellow and blue of Fenerbahçe. Athletic Bilbao leads Slavia Prague by 1-0 in the Europa League this evening. Saint-Maximin sees a gap, runs in between two Manchester United players, brilliantly read this time by Ugarte, but then the pass is poor. It was Martinez, in fact, who gave it away. Saint-Maximin dribbling again into the United box, looks for the cutback, falls to Tadic, lobs it up in the air. Nasiri heads it back across goal. De Ligt is there, nods it away for Manchester United. Tadic onto it again, rolls it into the path of Asai Samuel, up to the edge of the box, no way through there. Garnacho is back to help out with the defending, and it's Ugarte again for Manchester United. Right place, right time, clears it up to the halfway line. Paul Robinson.
Really defended that back line well tonight, Ugarte, hasn't he? Been playing sideways and across, but he's read the game very, very well, Ugarte. He's had timed some really good challenges and protected his back four.
Malmo 0, Olympiacos 1 in the Europa League this evening. Rangers 2-0 up at home against FCSB of Romania. Manchester United 1-0 up here against Fenerbahçe in Istanbul. Defending to do. Tadic is tackled edge of the box. Eriksson, lovely turn from Xerxes. Those long legs make the ground quickly, and then the pass is a poor one. Rashford had the pace to get away there. He went with the outside of the right boot and massively overhit it.
That's such a poor pass by Xerxes. Rashford was in. He does so well by turning away from Amrabat, turns, looks at Rashford on the right hand side, and he just overhits an outside of the boot. It's just careless by Xerxes. It was such an easy ball to play.
Yeah, done the hard bit as well with the turn and getting away from the defender. Saint-Maximin, another swerving run is stopped. Xerxes back in his own half, has lost it. Saint-Maximin hungry for action, takes on Rashford, beats him on the outside, low cross, danger, shot at the near post, Nasiri hits it, blocked by Lindelof, and it goes behind for a Fenerbahçe corner.
Yeah, too many balls coming in from Manchester United's right. Rashford just having to drop in and double up again with Dalot. Ball again across the 6-yard box, causing Manchester United problems. They deal with it, but it's another corner for Fenerbahçe.
5 Live, BBC Radio Manchester. We're always available on the BBC Sounds app as well if you're on the move. Your smart speakers as well. Just say to them, play Radio 5 Live, and you get your football commentary on there. Europa League tonight in Istanbul. Fenerbahçe 0, Manchester United 1. 10 minutes left in the first half. Szymanski is waiting to take the corner for Fenerbahçe. Amrabat is standing on Onana's toes. It's a short one here. Back to Szymanski, then the cross comes in. Two Manchester United defenders jump and head the ball away. That was De Ligt and Lindelof, the pair of them, doing the job. And now Saint-Maximin's on the ball, 40 yards from goal, wide on the left. Rolls it down the line to Szymanski. Szymanski, another cross into that Manchester United box. What a save, Onana! Downward header. They stole Onana again! Tips it over the bar, this one from close range. Nasiri with the second header. It might have been a centre forward with both headers, and somehow Onana has kept the pair of them out. One save, low down to his right, the other high above him was heading for the roof of the net, and Paul Robinson, as a former international goalkeeper, you will recognise exactly how good that was.
I've given him praise tonight, but that is incredible by Andre Onana. Low down to his right-hand side, almost Gordon Banks-like down to his right-hand side. The ball stays in play, it's put back into the middle, and it's headed back across him, high to his left. He gets up off the floor, one step, tips it over the bar with his left hand. As good, if not better than David Raya's double save. Jose Mourinho can't believe it below us.
Here comes another cross into that Manchester United penalty area. Xerxes heads it away. It is the season of the double save, and that is outstanding. Absolutely outstanding from Andre Onana. The reflexes to save, both the agility to get down to that one to the right-hand side, to then recover and stand tall and tip the other one over the bar.
Ali, that's better than David Raya's. David Raya's first penalty save was a routine save down to his right. What he did next was get up and go to his left. The two saves that Andre Onana's put together there are incredible. You'll do well to see a better two all season.
Wow.
Ugarte's block, Onana's double save, that is an incredible double save. Low down to his right, strong hand, gets back up again, high to his left. Listen, as goalkeepers, you train, you do that all the time. 10, 15, 20 more a day. Very rarely do you get to show them in a game like that.
Saint-Maximin on the ball for Fenerbahçe. Onana might be called on again here. Low pass to the edge of the box. Mazraoui is able to intercept. Fenerbahçe fans getting frustrated. Manchester United looking to counter Eriksen's ball. Bounces in front of Garnacho. He couldn't quite take it on. He's given that up. Here comes Asai Samuel, being urged forward by the home fans. Bedlam of noise inside the stadium. Treble step over. Another cross. Couple of deflections. And behind it goes for the goal kick. What a game.
What a save.
What a save.
What a save. I keep looking at the monitor. I want some more replays of it. I want to see it again. What an incredible double save by Onana.
I think particularly Paul as well. I mean, I know he won't be thinking about this, but he was the man really at fault in this city last season in the Champions League group game against Galatasaray. He's come back tonight and he's really proved a point. That was fabulous.
I think he's become the goalkeeper we kind of expected him to be and criticised him for not being when he first came to Manchester United. That double save was breathtaking.
Yeah. As you can tell, we are absolutely taken aback. And Jose Mourinho's reaction was priceless. He just burst out laughing. He could not believe that Onana was able to save not just one, but both of those headers from En-Nesyri. Manchester United leading by a goal to nil. 6 minutes remaining in the first half. And the referee, just before this corner is taken for Fenerbahçe, Onana basically came walking towards him and complained that Amrabat is basically standing on his toes here. Amrabat barges into him again. Corner's taken short. Cross comes in deep to the far post. Dallow's got it covered and lets it bounce behind. And what Amrabat is doing there to Onana, again from the goalkeeper's point of view, Paul, this was the debate that was raised with the late Manchester City winner against Wolves. They're sort of trying to bother the goalkeeper, get him off balance just before the corner comes in, and then Scarpa like Bernardo Silva did.
Yeah, I get that, but I think the VAR was used really well in that situation without going off topic, and I think that goal was rightly given for Manchester City. But actually what the opposition do with the goalkeepers, they put a body on you and they make it hard for the goalkeeper to get out. What I always used to like to do and tell the younger goalkeepers to do, put your own player in between you and the opposition. You can't get booked or in trouble for pushing your own player, so you push your own player and use him to push the opposition away from you and try and create space without getting too much involved.
Djiku took a knock from Xerxes here inside the Fenerbahçe half. 5 minutes remaining in the first half here. Plenty has happened. Fenerbahçe 0, Manchester United 1. And I was talking about those two En-Nesyri goals for Sevilla that knocked Manchester United out of this competition under Erik ten Hag a couple of seasons ago. Well, he thought he definitely scored. Oh, he could have had a hat-trick tonight. I know two of them come in quick succession, so if one goes in, he doesn't get the other. He has had three glorious opportunities and been denied every single time. Soyuncu's diagonal ball to the left, out towards Saint-Maximin. You can hear the home fans not happy. Saint-Maximin twisting and turning again wide on the left. Rashford makes the tackle. It goes out for a throw-in an attacking position for Fenerbahçe. Let's see what they can do with this. I can see the Welsh team, the New Saints, 1-0 up against Astana. As the ball comes into that Manchester United penalty area, they're able to clear it away. Soyuncu on the halfway line. Lazio 1 up away to FC Twente as well in the Europa League. Ugarte nods the ball down. Eriksen hooks it round the corner. Mazraoui finds Xerxes. Garnacho, can he find him on the left-hand side? Garnacho's timed his run. He's frustrated. He gets that ball late, but he does have it at his feet. Running at Asai Samuel, brings it away from the penalty area, rolls it under the studs of his right boot, and he's so annoyed that pass didn't get to him earlier.
He's right. Xerxes should have given him. Xerxes was in acres of space. All he had to do was look up and could see Garnacho on the left-hand side, and he's frustrated, Garnacho. He really is making his frustration known. But again, it was such a simple ball that Xerxes could have played. The one into Rashford he got all wrong, and the one to Garnacho he just quite simply didn't see.
Manchester United leading Fenerbahçe by a goal to nil. Next break in play, we're going to take you to Tottenham. De Ligt's ball forward towards Xerxes. Soyuncu gets his body in the way and intercepts. Muldaur plays back to Djiku. Come in, John Southall.
3 minutes to half-time. Tottenham 0, Alkmaar 0, but AZ offering a threat going forward. Fraser Forster quickly off his line to deny Cassius. Tottenham 0, AZ 0.
Good night for Rangers so far as well, Ali Baba.
It is indeed. They lead here by 2 goals to nil. They thought they were behind very early on. I can just clear up what happened. Jack Butland loitered on the ball. It was robbed off his toes and stuck into the empty net. The referee blew the whistle before the ball crossed the line. VAR couldn't check the foul that the referee had given. Jack Butland, a lucky boy, but as it is, Rangers have dominated and they lead here against FCSB by 2 goals to nil.
Half-time reports on the way shortly. 3 minutes left in this first half in Istanbul. Manchester United leading through the Christian Eriksen goal. Garnacho back to Ugarte, forward to Mazraoui. He did so well there to hold his man off. Lay it back to Eriksson. Eriksson releases Garnacho. Late chance in the first half for Manchester United. Garnacho running at those Fenerbahçe defenders into the penalty area. The ball is behind Dalot. Rashford was waiting, as was Xerxes inside the penalty area. Saint-Maximin is back there for Fenerbahçe. Wriggles away from Matthijs de Ligt, who sticks to his task brilliantly and takes the ball off Saint-Maximin.
Does well there, de Ligt, because he gets really, really tight. If Saint-Maximin gets round him, he's away, and he's running into the Manchester United half. He was strong, he held his ground, and he kept Saint-Maximin at bay.
2 minutes remaining in the first half. Ugarte's brilliant block, Onana's incredible double save, Eriksson's fabulous finish. Fenerbahçe 0, Manchester United 1. Paul's just brought up the possession stats for the game in front of me. 64% for the home team, 36 for Manchester United. Manchester United have it at the moment with Lindelof across to Martinez. Martinez in the middle of his own half. Cross to de Ligt. Manchester United trying to see this through to half-time. Rashford out to Dalot. Back to Rashford again. Challenge on him from En-Nesyri. En-Nesyri feels that should be a Fenerbahçe throw. Decision is given to Fenerbahçe. Mulder takes it, throws it back to Djiku. Djiku's right-footed ball forward is overhit. Chance for Lindelof to nod it down to de Ligt just outside his own box. Under pressure. En-Nesyri runs through de Ligt as de Ligt clears. You see that all the time, actually, where En-Nesyri, he's not trying to pull out the challenge, he just sort of leaves a leg there. De Ligt clears and then kicks En-Nesyri, goes down, he's hurt. Manchester United win the free kick.
Bit of frustration as well from the Fenerbahçe striker, just runs across the Manchester United centre-half. You can see there is just a little bit of frustration creeping into them. As you said there about the possession stats, they have had the lion's share of possession, they have looked dominant with the ball without really creating that much. I mean, the opportunity they had with Onana's double save was incredible, but actually Fenerbahçe have been held at bay by Manchester United, who defended well and played really good away counter-attacking European football, and every time they've got the ball like they have now in the final third of Fenerbahçe, they look dangerous.
Producer George has already arrived with half-time tea and biscuits. Sharp service from a man with a sharp haircut.
I'll tell you what, looking at that tea, you can take it back.
Looks all right to me. I tell you what, the throat gets quite choked up here when you do these games in Turkey. There's plenty of smoking going on around in the stadium, so anything wet, very useful at half-time. How many minutes added time? Just 1 minute of added time at the end of the first half. Fenerbahçe, with Amrabat being chased by Xerxes, decides not to play it to Livakovic, and had Xerxes got a foot on the ball there, he would have an open goal to shoot into. Fenerbahçe clear it up to the halfway line. Dalot, little side-footed pass to Eriksson. Wide it goes to Rashford, flicks it forward into the body of Mulder and wins the throw-in for Manchester United. The Manchester United fans, a little pocket of them, concentrated away to our left, surrounded on either side, but all those fans in the replica Fenerbahçe kits. But Manchester United fans enjoying the evening the more at the moment, leading by a goal to nil. Onana, clearance from inside his own box, downfield it goes, the half-time whistle blows, and that is a very satisfactory first 45 minutes for Erik ten Hag and his team. Fabulous goal on the counter-attack, but Paul, actually the thing that really took the breath away was the defending. Ugarte and Onana, the star men.
Yeah, absolutely. The block from Ugarte, we didn't think we'd see a better piece of defensive action today, but then the double save from Andre Onana was absolutely incredible. Whatever platform the BBC that you watch your football on, go and find it as soon as you can, because it's an incredible double save by Andre Onana. But all that combined together comes with a defensive away team European performance, and that's what it's been. They're not going to come here tonight and set up and expect it to dominate possession. They're not going to look to impose themselves on Fenerbahçe. You can see the way that Manchester United have set up, and Erik ten Hag's game plan, I would say, as the teams disappear down the tunnel below us, has worked absolutely perfectly.
Jose Mourinho was sparkling yesterday, less happy now. Couldn't believe Jose Mourinho, the look on his face. Honestly, you should have seen it, Ellie, when Onana made the double save, and that is why Manchester United lead at half-time in Istanbul. Fenerbahçe 0, Manchester United 1.
Before we let you have your half-time refreshments, guys, Paul, I've just got to ask you again, just to, as a goalkeeper, what Onana actually did, for people who are just tuning in, if you can describe it to them, how hard was it to do what he did?
Well, it's one of the best double saves that you'll see. I mean, there was a header low down to his right-hand side, which in itself is a fantastic save. But what he does, he gets a strong hand on it, and the ball actually stays in play. So as he's dived to his right, and the ball's bounced in front of him in a similar vein to the Gordon Banks save, not quite the same quality, but it's the same type of movement to give our listeners some kind of visual. And the ball stays in play on the right, on the left, Manchester United's right, and it's lifted back into the box immediately. 2 yards away from Onana, the centre forward heads it again, and it's up to his left-hand side, up to the top left. So he's gone down to the bottom right-hand corner, and within a split second he's got back to his feet, had a side step and dove to his left-hand side, dived to the top left-hand corner and tipped it over the bar. It's what goalkeepers do. It's a staple diet of goalkeepers training. René will tell you in training, when you watch the goalkeepers, the up down, get down, top corner save, low save, high save. We regularly do it in training, but that's part of the goalkeeper's fitness. It's part of making one of those saves in a game. It's very, very rarely part of putting those saves together. And putting two saves like that together is rare enough in itself, but having the quality of two saves like that was something special.
I tell you what, Andre Onana's made that old goalkeeper very, very happy indeed by the sound of it. Paul, Ali, go and get... You should be having coffee, surely, in Turkey rather than tea. But anyway, go off and enjoy your refreshments. René Mullenstein, former Manchester United first-team coach, is with us in the studio here in Salford. I mean, you know, not just the quality of those saves that Onana made, but the pressure under which he made them in that atmosphere in Istanbul. Remarkable.
Absolutely, but also it was a really good piece of play of Fenerbahçe. You know, the ball, the first cross, the first header was actually a really, really good header. The striker did exactly what he needed. The Tadic played a really clever ball back to create that second header, and that was another really good header. But obviously Onana came up with two fantastic reflexes and saves, and it's the highlight of the game.
I mean, it's been a much more entertaining first half than we set it up, because we were talking about Ten Hag, Mourinho, not the most attractive managers, you know, the style that they get their teams to play in, but actually there's been plenty of interest, right?
No, I do think Ten Hag is not a defensive coach. He likes to play them, you know, in an attacking style. However, he sets them up in terms of the possession, take the sting out of the game, don't rush anything, and hit them on the break, which they did a few times. And I think for United, I think it needs another goal to really kill the game off and really silence the crowd. If Fenerbahçe will take a little bit more risk in the second half, so more of those opportunities to break will come.
We'll talk more during the half-time interval. Let's get half-time news from the other Europa League games being played this evening, the 8 o'clock kickoffs, starting with Spurs against Alkmaar. John Southall.
Where it is Tottenham 0, AZ Alkmaar 0 at half-time. Remember, 9 changes for Tottenham. Just looked a bit like that at times tonight. They've had the chances though. Mikey Moore glanced a header wide from 5 yards out. Great chance that to score his first Tottenham goal. And Timo Werner, 2 chances. The first on the left of the penalty area, unmarked, straight at the keeper. Just a lack of conviction, lack of confidence maybe. The second he also sliced wide again on the left-hand side. AZ have offered a threat going forward, especially Ernest Puko on the left-hand side. Couple of chances. A Penetra effort brilliantly saved by Fraser Forster, and Forster also quickly off his line just before half-time to deny Cassius. So half-time, Tottenham 0, AZ Alkmaar 0.
And Rangers on top at Ibrox, Ailey Barber.
They are indeed, Ellie. This is exactly the kind of night Rangers needed, but they had to survive an early scare. Jack Butland taking too long on the ball. Mikulescu robbed him, rolled it into the net, but the referee blew for a foul before the ball crossed the line, so it couldn't be checked by VAR. And having seen it back, Butland is very lucky. It did not look like a foul, but Rangers rallied, and Václav Černý found Tom Lawrence with a lovely pullback for Lawrence to smash it into the net, and then Černý delivered himself, pouncing on a loose ball to curl in a lovely strike from the edge of the box. This is much more what Philippe Clement is looking for. At the break, it is Rangers 2, SCSB 0.
And full-time scores from earlier in the UEFA Conference League. Chelsea winning 4-1 against Panathinaikos away, and Hearts beating Omonia Nicosia 2-0 at home. So it is 8 minutes to 9. We'll bring you second half commentary of Manchester United in Turkey this evening, playing Fenerbahçe and 1-0 up. But let's get the news on 5 Live with Johnny Freeman.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Thanks, Ellie. Good evening. The Chancellor has announced she will set out changes to the way the UK measures its debt in next week's budget. Speaking in Washington, where she's attending a meeting of the International Monetary Fund, Rachel Reeves told the BBC the move would free up billions of pounds to spend on infrastructure as well as other investments.
We need to invest more to grow our economy and seize the huge opportunities there are in digital, in tech, in life sciences, in clean energy. but we'll only be able to do that if we change the way that we measure debt.
Well, in response, the Conservatives say Ms Reeves appears to be going back on a pledge to not change fiscal rules, and the move could affect mortgage costs. Next, the government is insisting it has no plans to pay reparations to nations affected by Britain's past role in the slave trade. There's been renewed pressure from Caribbean countries as the Prime Minister joins Commonwealth leaders at a summit in Samoa. Our political editor, Chris Mason, says it's an awkward situation for Sir Keir Starmer, who wants to focus on current challenges.
At the heart of this is a difficult philosophical question. To what extent can this generation be held responsible for the actions of our forebears? And there are moral and legal, as well as political and diplomatic ramifications to all of that.
A new report from the United Nations is warning attempts to rein in global warming are catastrophically off track. It's found world temperatures are now on course to rise by 3.1 Celsius above pre-industrial levels, twice the target set a decade ago. Russia's president has said it's up to Moscow to decide how it works with North Korea. Vladimir Putin didn't deny the presence of North Korean troops in his country when questioned during a press conference at a summit earlier. And officials in the Italian city of Venice have announced they're extending the tax charged to day trippers during peak periods. The €5 fee will apply for 54 days next year.
Pakistan will need 1 wicket to win this match and go 1-1 in the series, and no man moves in and bowls it. Bashir's popped it up, is out first ball, and Pakistan level the series.
England are taking on Pakistan in a 3-match test series.
We knew when we came over here that it was going to be a tough test, and we're certainly in for it, and look forward to the opportunity in the last test match.
Ball-by-ball commentary of the 3rd test continues tomorrow morning from 5:45 on 5 Sports Extra.
And keep up to date with the TMS podcast on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport
with Eleanor Oldroyd.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
Yes, England in a decent position actually at the end of that first day in Rawalpindi. England 267 all out, Pakistan 73 for 3, so late wickets for England. And Jamie Smith really rescued England. They were 118 for 6 at one point, but he scored his first half-century overseas. He finished with 89 to set up a decisive second day tomorrow. Here's Simon Mann speaking to Smith after the close of play.
Yeah, we're pretty pleased with the position we're in. I feel as though no one quite knew or expecting what the wicket was going to do there. I think no one quite had an idea. A lot of people have been saying it never spins in Rawalpindi, so we weren't quite sure. Thankfully, we won a toss for the first time in a long time. But yeah, we're happy to put runs on the board. We can only see it getting tougher as the game goes on.
What sort of score do you feel was 267?
I think it's a decent score, especially from the position we're in. You know, any time you're batting first, you have the luxury of the best conditions. There's no doubt about that. So, you know, early wickets tomorrow, and that can look totally different.
What about that morning session? You lost 5 wickets. Did you feel, this is just getting away from us a bit? We weren't quite expecting this in terms of the amount of spin.
Not getting away from you. I think that, you know, it's always going to be difficult when you come to alien conditions, and you know, everyone had a game plan and stuck to that quite nicely, and things just didn't come off for people on this occasion. But that's the beauty of the game. You get a second innings and there'll be guys that be really thirsty for runs.
Were you absolutely desperate to win that toss today?
Yeah, especially the record we've had. I think it's been spoken about a bit tongue-in-cheek with all the lads in the last few days, especially with, you know, I think it was 0 and 7 at a time, and you know, when you come out here, it showed last week, it's crucial, so to be on the right side of the toss is great.
And coverage returns from 5:45 tomorrow morning on 5 Sports Extra. The latest TMS podcast is out now on BBC Sounds. Well, this week's episode of the Rugby Union Weekly podcast is now available, and correspondent Chris Jones was in England's training camp in Girona, where he spoke to the sail hooker Luke Cowan-Dickey about some of the issues he's experienced over the last few months.
I had a neck operation, which, when neck operations go, it was quite a routine sort of decompression, but I come out with a damaged nerve, so my arm took, I would say, about 16 months to get back to actually playing okay.
So what period is this? Is this 22, 23?
Yes, so this was before the Six Nations of the World Cup I had it.
Yeah.
It was sort of, I was going to get that done after the Six Nations, so hopefully get an opportunity to play in that and then to be fit for the Six Nation for the World Cup, because I think it was around a 10 to 12 week injury. But yeah, I did my ankle, so we decided to get it done early. And yeah, since then I've been out fully really. Last season I was playing, but nowhere near as well as I could have due to my arm. And then my heart in one of the games flipped into AF. I don't really know how to explain it really. It just went out of rhythm. So I was out for a couple of weeks. That was the last Six Nations. So I was out for the first couple of weeks of that due to testing and stuff like that. So yeah, I've had a bit of a terrible time with injuries.
Through it, yeah.
But I'm back fully fit now and happy. Yeah.
Well, start with the arm, because you weren't able to raise it above a certain point.
No.
And you're gradually getting more and more power back.
Yeah. So for the first 4 or 5 months, I couldn't really get it off my side. I couldn't eat with a knife and fork. I couldn't raise my arm to my mouth. But now it's back. It's not 100%, but it's a lot closer, and I don't really notice it near as much.
And the heart, how are you on that front?
It was a weird one. I didn't really think anything of it. The doc said it was quite serious.
Right.
So I went to the hospital, and I was in there for a couple of days.
So you were training when you felt it?
No, I was in a game. So I was in the La Rochelle game. So
because I was at that game, you just came off suddenly early.
Yeah, so about 15 minutes in, I didn't really feel right. I was getting a bit dazed and nearly collapsed a couple of times. I just thought I was just too tired. Then at half time I came off, thought it was going to be fine. Come back on, and about 10 minutes in, again my hands and that was going numb. And I was like, something's not right, so I came off, and then I got an ECG, and my heart was out of rhythm. Yeah.
And you went to the hospital then?
Yeah, I went to the hospital. They put me on a drip to hopefully it flicked back by itself, which it did over 24 hours. And then I had the tests, MRIs and ECG machine. I had like a portable one on me for a while, and they didn't get anything back from it. And touch wood, everything's been fine ever since.
Well, that was Luke Cowan-Dickey with our correspondent Chris Jones. I mean, Chris, he's really been through it, hasn't he?
Yeah, one of those interviews, Eddie, where the revelations just kept coming. I mean, if you go back to the middle of 2021, this was one of the best hookers in world rugby, a starting British and Irish line in South Africa. But over the course of the last few years, as you were hearing there, he's just been through it. The neck injury, the arm damage, a cancelled contract with Montpellier in all that, which means he's playing for Sale. He moved to Sale, so he kept alive his England career, that heart scare to boot. And how remarkable is it that he's been playing top-level rugby at the back end of 2023 into 2024 with hardly any strength in one of his arms. But as he was saying there, physically, he's in much better nick now. And mentally, as you'll hear in the rest of the chat on the pod, mentally he's taken some big steps as well. He's given up gaming. And for Cowan-Dickey, that's a huge deal because he quite literally is one of the best amateur gamers in the world. He reached #1 in the amateur rankings on Call of Duty. Millions of people worldwide. So he was an incredibly keen gamer, but he's given that up for his mental well-being. He's given up alcohol as well. So he's made some big changes physically, some big changes mentally. And if all of that can mean a fitter, fresher, happier Luke Cowan-Dickey, and in terms of the rugby can translate onto the pitch ahead of this autumn, then England could have that world-beating hooker back that was one of the best around a few years ago. But yeah, it's great to have him back in the England setup. It's been 2 years since his cap, and he's right in contention with England playing New Zealand, the first these 4 matches in this huge autumn that all starts on the 2nd of November, week Saturday.
Lovely stuff, Chris. Thank you very much indeed. Full chat available with Luke Cowan-Dickey, as well as chats with the new senior assistant coach Richard Wigglesworth and Saracen centre Alex Lazowski on the Rugby Union Weekly podcast, which is available right now on BBC Sounds. So Manchester United players are wandering out for the second half against Fenerbahçe in Istanbul. René Moulenstein alongside me here in the studio. We've got Alistair Bruce-Ball and Paul Robinson in the stadium. I mean, René, what kind of changes do you think that Ten Hag might be looking at in this second half?
None at the moment. I think he will be very, very pleased of what he saw in the first half. I think United played a very good first half. I think didn't give too much away apart from those 2 great saves and obviously the block before that as well. So, but the 1-0 up, I think it does need another goal. This game, and I think there will be another goal in this game. It all depends that if it goes to Fenerbahçe, the pressure will even increase more and they will start to chase. But the longer it takes, the longer Manchester United can keep the noses in front, the more risk Fenerbahçe needs to take, and that can be the advantage of Manchester United.
Yeah, they don't want a third draw, do they, Manchester United, in this group of the conference, the Europa League. Ali, Paul, I've just seen Jose Mourinho giving Andre Onana a bit of a pat on the back as the teams are coming out from the tunnel.
Yep, and an in-depth chat with Casemiro in the tunnel, making, rekindling old acquaintances, you could say, with his old Manchester United and Real Madrid players.
Fenerbahçe players, you can hear, have just made their way back out onto the pitch for the start of the second half. Manchester United are waiting for them, and Manchester United lead by a 1-0. That was a lovely exchange between Jose Mourinho, who was waiting for Andre Onana, and I couldn't exactly lip read what was said, but you could tell Mourinho was saying, how on earth have you made those saves? A couple of other things to tell you from half-time as well. Our engineer Phil's had the old decibel meter on his phone on during the first half. Apparently we've climbed up to about 110 and beyond, Phil, which is the equivalent of having a chainsaw starting up and held right next to your ear. It's felt a bit like that at times, isn't it?
I think I'd rather be inside the stadium, though.
Yeah, no,
I mean, that just shows you the level of the noise. It really is. It's fantastic.
And the replays as well. We watched the slow motion replays of the Ugarte block on the Tadic effort and the Onana double save, and they absolutely beggar belief. Manchester United lead by 1-0. They scored it on the counter-attack, but they could easily be behind. Tadic just did not see Ugarte coming. No one did, and somehow he slid in and got a left foot on the ball. Tadic is 6 yards out with an open goal. There was a cross into the near post. He'd squirted away from Onana's cross. Tadic thinks he's scored, and En-Nesyri with the two headers thinks he's scored with both, and somehow Onana has made the save. So we're underway in the second half. Jose Mourinho's not made any changes as yet. Neither has Erik ten Hag. Manchester United in the red shirts, black shorts, black socks with the red tops, playing from right to left in this second half towards their loyal pocket of fans in that left-hand corner of the stand behind the goal away to our left. And Fenerbahçe are in the yellow and dark blue vertical stripes, white shorts, white socks. There's Dalot for Manchester United. Forward to Rashford. Back to the goal scorer Eriksen, who's playing a really important role for Manchester United this season. Has now started 8 out of the 12 games in all competitions. Scored against 20, as I said, in the first Europa League group game. Scored tonight. Casemiro unavailable this evening, so Ugarte alongside Eriksen in central midfield. And Noussair Mazraoui's really grown into the role as the number 10 in place of the suspended Bruno Fernandes tonight. And the touch from Xerxes as well. That was the other thing that caught my eye, Paul, just watching the replays at half-time. Xerxes' touch and pass to set up Eriksen. He was a bit wasteful with another couple of opportunities in the first half, but for the goal he was brilliant.
Both him and Mazraoui were excellent for the goal. Thought it was a heavy touch. It wasn't. It was a great pass. Xerxes ball into Eriksen, and they have been a little bit ineffective during the course of the game. Garnacho and Rashford are the ones that have caused the problems, but actually in the key moments, those two that we just discussed there, they really come to light and played a huge part in the Eriksen goal.
Ugarte's overhit a pass beyond Garnacho, who's looked really dangerous again this evening. It's gone out for a Fenerbahçe throw. Martinez having his shirt pulled by Tadic there. Tadic complains. The whole stadium erupts and complains at the referee, who I've not even mentioned by name this evening. Apologies to him. Clément Turpin of France, the man in black with the bright yellow socks, gives Manchester United a free kick. They've got Onana in goal, Dalot, De Ligt, Lindelof, Martinez as the back four, Ugarte and Eriksen in central midfield. We've got Mazraoui in the unusual role of number 10 this evening, Rashford and Garnacho wide, Xerxes playing through the middle with Rasmus Højlund and Casemiro among those on the bench. The ball is back with Onana inside his 6-yard box, being heartily jeered and whistled at by the Fenerbahçe fans, clears it up to the halfway line. Djiku gets a foot on it, stabs it forward. Lindelof making his first start for Manchester United this season, and suddenly looks like he's struggling a little bit as he's running forward there. Manchester United don't want any more injuries to defenders. Soyuncu felt he was fouled as he played the ball back to his goalkeeper Livakovic. Referee agrees. Free kick Fenerbahçe. 3 minutes in. 5 Live BBC Sounds, BBC Radio Manchester tonight as well. Manchester United leading by 1-0. Fenerbahçe keen to get on with it. Amrabat plays forward to Szymanski. Wide it goes here to Saint-Maximin. Saint-Maximin's right-footed cross. En-Nesyri with the header, and that's the equaliser. Right at the start of the second half. Listen to the noise inside the Shukru Saracoğlu Stadium as Fenerbahçe and Jose Mourinho celebrate the goal. En-Nesyri couldn't miss. Onana's brilliance couldn't keep that one out. It's Fenerbahçe 1, Manchester United 1.
He could do nothing, Andre Onana in the Manchester United goal. That is all about the ball into the box by Szymanski on the left-hand side. Cuts in on his right foot and he drifts a ball, an in-swinging ball. It's St. Maximin actually on the left-hand side, and his ball into the box is absolutely inch perfect for El Nassiri. It's an incredible ball by St. Maximin, guided in with his right foot, floated over the head of De Ligt, straight into the striker's path. He's 3 yards from goal. There's nothing Onana can do. The ball is that good, the goalkeeper can't come from it, and El Nassiri has got the simplest of tasks from 4 yards to head home and get his team back into the game.
El Nassiri starting tonight in place of Edin Dzeko. The smile is back on Jose Mourinho's face. The decibel levels are going through the roof again here in Istanbul, and Manchester United are back to level pegging. Fenerbahçe 1, Manchester United 1. El Nassiri chasing another ball, speculative shot across the face of goal, no power. Onana is able to fall onto it, dive to his left and roll it out to Christian Eriksen. Back underway at Tottenham as well, John Southall.
Tottenham 0, AZ 0, but really good start in this second half for Tottenham. Mickey Moore down the left-hand side, brilliant mazy run. His ball into Johnson, his shot was blocked. Moore again, cross from the left, evaded everybody and went wide. He has been electric, the 17-year-old at the start of this half. Mikey Moore. Tottenham 0, AZ 0.
Manchester United suddenly under pressure. Fenerbahçe pressing them inside their own half, and these huge tidal waves of noise rolling down from the steep stands above the pitch, right on top of them, and Manchester United have just got to settle again. Early goals in the second half in the Conference League. HJK lead Dinamo Minsk by 1-0, and Legia Warsaw 2-0 up away to Baka Topola. This is absolutely ridiculous in here.
Honestly, you can't hear yourself think. Everywhere you look in the stadium, people are bouncing up and down. It's almost like a sea of yellow and dark blue shirts everywhere. The noises, honestly, you can't portray the noise. It's incredible.
My head is pounding, just throbbing with the noise as El Nassiri gets onto another ball inside the Manchester United half. De Ligt faces up against him. He lays it off to St. Maximin. Manchester United under pressure here. Poor ball from St. Maximin, read by Dalot. Clever little pass from him to Eriksen. Finds Mazraoui. Dalot sets off down the right. Rashford's going for a longer high ball down the middle. Xerxes brings it down. Edge of the box. Soyuncu's with him. Xerxes gets there. Takes it down to the byline. Couldn't find a teammate behind him, and Asai Samuel is able to clear for Fenerbahçe.
And that's where he's not on number 9, Xerxes. He's been asked to play there. It's a decent first touch, and he runs the ball to the edge of the 18-yard box, and he makes the wrong decision. He just turns and plays a ball blindly behind him, where he should hold the ball up, wait for his teammates, try and slow the play down and bring his teammates into play. He doesn't. He just plays a blind ball and gives away possession.
Fenerbahçe 1, Manchester United 1. Early stages of the second half. 7 minutes gone here after the break. De Ligt intercepts the ball forward, looking for El Nassiri. Eriksen plays back to De Ligt. Little 1-2 with Dalot inside the Manchester United half. De Ligt got to be careful. Can't go back to Onana. They've done well. Found Eriksen again. Beats Amrabat. Lofted ball over the top. Garnacho suddenly comes alive. Chases that down the inside left channel. Asai Samuel wins the header. There's a penalty at Tottenham. John Southall.
There's a penalty to Tottenham. Tottenham 0, AZ Alkmaar 0. Richarlison wanted to take it. Maddison also wanted it. Had a long debate, and Maddison will be the man to take it. We might be a while here, Ali, so come back to me.
Okay, John, we're back to you in a second. Back to the booming noise inside this stadium in Istanbul. They're underway in the first half at Ibrox. Second half, beg your pardon, Ailey Barber.
And Rangers still leading FCSB by 2-0, but FCSB, who made 6 changes coming into this one, have called for the reinforcement. 3 changes at the break. They've started lively in this second half, but have yet to really work Jack Butland. And the next goal in this game is going to be crucial. At the moment, though, it is still Rangers leading by 2-0.
Back to Tottenham, John.
Well, Maddison's giving it back to Richarlison. Will he regret that? Richarlison on the edge of the penalty area. Tottenham 0, AZ Alkmaar 0. The referee's just going to have a quick word with the goalkeeper to stay on his line. First start of the season for the Brazilian Richarlison. Just stands on the edge of the penalty area. The referee blows his whistle. Up he steps, takes a little jig, and he puts it out in the middle. And Tottenham have the lead. And he was right to take it. Tottenham 1, AZ Alkmaar 0.
Tottenham looking to make it 3 wins out of 3 in the early stages, the group stages, the new group stages of this Europa League. Stoppage in play here, and suddenly the noise levels dip. Worry for Bright Asay Samuel, the right back, just back from injury himself to start this game for Fenerbahçe, has a problem, and Soyuncu's had to knock the ball out of play. So 9 minutes into the second half, Rangers are leading FCSB by 2-0. Tottenham now 1 up on AZ Alkmaar. Fenerbahçe 1, Manchester United 1. While we have a break in play, let's just remind you of the Fenerbahçe team. Dominic Livakovic is the goalkeeper. Asay Samuel, the right back, is the man with the problem now. Merton Mulder is playing left back. Alexander Ciku and Çağlar Soyuncu, the 2 centre-backs. Casemiro and Højlund are coming on here for Manchester United. Lindelof and Xerxes are going off. Amrabat and Fred in central midfield for Fenerbahçe. Tadic on the right, Sam Maxima on the left. Szymanski is playing off Yusuf En-Nesyri. Asay Samuel hobbles to the side of the pitch. So Manchester United have made a double change. Let's just get the quick thoughts of René Moulenstein, who's watching the game back in the studio. René.
Yes, Ali, I was just saying to Ali when the kick-off for the second half, I said it's going to be interesting to see how Fenerbahçe is going to deal with this pressure. Being 1-0 down, the fans weren't happy. You know, they need a win, and I have to say they've started bright. Was a great ball in from Saint Maxima, and I think poor defending from Lindelof, who lost in his area, and this time he puts it away. So the changes are interesting. I think he's going back with Dalot playing left back. Mazraoui will probably go back to his normal position with Casemiro in. But we've got a game in our hands now. It's opening up.
Yeah, we do. Asay Samuel driving forward into the Manchester United penalty area. Mazraoui now at left back, slides in. Asay Samuel goes down, cross into the box. Onana's going to come for the ball. The referee has a decision to make. Asay Samuel is down in agony in the Manchester United penalty area, thumping the ground in frustration and pain. The video assistant referee will be having a look at that. The Fenerbahçe fans are making their views very clear. Diogo Dalot knocks the ball out of play so that Asay Samuel can receive treatment. So he was down, back on his feet, made a run into the box, thinks he's been fouled for a penalty. Red card given by Clement Turpin, the referee, for one of the Fenerbahçe coaching staff. Is it Jose Mourinho?
No, it's not Jose, it's his assistant. No, it's his assistant. Right. He had no hesitation there, the referee. The assistant referee on the touchline here told the referee something, immediately came over, brandished the red card to the assistant manager, and he's had to disappear down the tunnel.
Right, Rasmus Højlund's now playing centre forward for Manchester United. Christian Eriksen has gone forward into the number 10 role. Xerxes gone off. Casemiro's alongside Eriksen. Dalot's at right back. Mazraoui's at left back. One of the Fenerbahçe coaching staff have been sent off. Fenerbahçe scoring early in the second half. Honestly, I'm losing my mind here. It's 1-1. Asay Samuel is down hurt. We're still going to have a look at the replay of the challenge on Asay Samuel, but at the moment Turpin is just waving those penalty claims.
Well, I think he's just said to one of the Fenerbahçe players, he's looked in his eyes, he said, look, we've looked at it, and no, get up and get on with it type of thing. As you can hear by the fans, they're not overly pleased with that decision. Samuel in the corner there, still down, having treatment. I think there's a coming together with Garnacho just as the ball disappeared. We're seeing it again now. It's Samuel, he just turns away, and actually Ugarte trod on his toe, just as he put the ball away. So it was a slight coming together, but I think that's one of those, Ali, where in the reams of the on-field decision, he's made an absolute meal out of his toe being stood on, to be fair.
René Moulenstein watching the pictures, I imagine, back in Manchester. What do you think, René?
No, absolutely. He made a meal of it, and again, that's why they tried to maybe unsettle the referee with the crowd and the noise. But they have to be careful, you know. The next time, I mean, obviously we've got VAR obviously to look at it, but the referee called this one right straight away.
Goal at Rangers, another goal at Ibrox tonight. Ailey Barber.
The next goal was going to be crucial for Rangers, and crucially has gone to them. They are in cruise control once again. Václav Černý is involved. He picked up the ball, was released by Mo Diamandi. He drove towards the box, great composure, dropped the shoulder, passed it into the bottom corner of the net. We've got a little break at the moment. They are checking something, but I can't see why the goal would not stand, because that the referee's just going to play on here, which is a substitute. It's nothing to do with the goal. It is still Rangers 3, FCSB 0.
The drama continues in Istanbul. Jose Mourinho has now been sent off as well.
Well, he sat next to his assistant manager who was sat there. We've just seen a clip on the screen. Jose's turned around to his assistant manager almost to say, what are you doing here? Was it you or was it me?
Well,
I think they're as confused as we are as to who was actually sent off.
Jose Mourinho's in the stands. It's 1-1. Manchester United on the break. Dalot inside the penalty area. Here's the cutback and the shot from Rashford. He's stretching. He couldn't finish it. The ball wasn't the best. The offside flag stayed down. Manchester United should be 2-1 in front. Mourinho sent off. Still 1-1. And we've still got half an hour to go.
What a game.
Wow. Casemiro plays to Garnacho. Garnacho's cross blocked by Tadic. What is going to happen next? Tottenham leading AZ Alkmaar by 1-0. Rangers now 3-0 up. What a win that's going to be against FCSB, who'd won their first 2 games in this Europa League. Fenerbahçe 1, Manchester United 1. We hope you're enjoying it wherever you're listening to us, possibly on the BBC Sounds app by your smart speaker as well. Garnacho, was he brought down by Samuel? He was. Free kick in a shooting position, 20 yards out. Yellow card for Fenerbahçe's right back.
Brilliant first touch by Garnacho. Gets inside, in behind Samuel, takes it on his chest, he's making his way towards the edge of the box. It's a fantastic first touch by Garnacho. You can see what he's doing immediately as the ball comes across. His first touch on his chest, he directs the ball forward, so he gets behind Samuel. There's only one thing that the defender can do if he's going to touch him, is bring him down, and he gets his team a free kick in a really dangerous position.
Right, could be Eriksson, could be Rashford, could be Garnacho. Fenerbahçe 1, Manchester United 1. Fenerbahçe, they want to make a change. I think Asai Samuel is eventually going to have to come off. They're setting themselves to defend this free kick at the moment. Is that the Brazilian centre-back, Bichão? Yeah, Rodrigo Bichão is waiting to come on for Fenerbahçe. And it's Bright Asai Samuel, former Queen's Park Rangers defender, who is going to have to hobble off. So we get a chance to draw breath. Half an hour to play. Fenerbahçe 1, Manchester United 1. Tomorrow night, live from Wembley, England's women play Germany in a friendly international. We've got full commentary of that one as Manchester United wait to take this free kick. Saturday, Aston Villa Bournemouth is our 3 o'clock commentary. Everton Fulham in full at 5:30. West Ham Manchester United on 5 Live at 2 o'clock on Sunday. We've got Chelsea Newcastle in full on Sports Extra. Crystal Palace Tottenham will be available as a commentary on the BBC Sports website, and Arsenal Liverpool in full on 5 Live in BBC Sounds at 4:30. We'll head back to Tottenham shortly, but Bichão is coming on, Asai Samuel is coming off, and Manchester United have a really good chance here to get a decent strike on goal to try and get themselves back in front, having been pegged back early in the second half. Looks like it's going to be Eriksson, who's already scored 1 tonight. 5-man wall of yellow and blue for Fenerbahçe. Draft excluder, player lying a couple of yards behind the wall. Top right-hand corner of the goal looks tempting for Eriksson, and we know he's a man who can sometimes deliver that sort of exquisite finish. Can he do it this time? No, he can't. He drives that straight into the wall. It bounces to Garnacho. His cross into the box. Martinez shoots on the volley. That was well blocked. Fenerbahçe haven't fully got this clear yet. It's played back to Dalot by De Ligt. Ball into the far post. Garnacho's header back into that penalty area. Nodded away. Rashford's first time ball on the half volley finds Garnacho. Little trick from him. Played back to Rashford. Might fancy the shot. Trick. Bit of dribbling into the box. Great from Rashford. Eventually stopped. Ugarte hits it. That's blocked. The ball spins in the air. Martinez nods it forward, and it bounces into the arms of the Fenerbahçe keeper, Dominik Livakovic. John Southall's watching Tottenham against AZ Alkmaar.
Well, Tottenham lead by a goal to 0. Solanke about to come on for Tottenham, but there's a corner on the left-hand side for AZ, who've had Cassius smashing one over the bar from 20 yards out. But Tottenham lead AZ Alkmaar by a goal to 0.
Bakatopola 0, Legia Warsaw 3 in the Conference League. Chelsea and Hearts, both winners in the Conference League earlier on today. Last I saw, New Saints were leading Astana by a goal to 0 as well in one of the 8 o'clock kickoffs this evening. Bichão back to his goalkeeper Livakovic, clears it upfield, doesn't quite stick for En-Nesyri. Fenerbahçe can't get hold of it. Amrabat stretches, gets a foot on the ball. Casemiro goes sliding in inside the Fenerbahçe half. They all leave it to each other. Fred does well, whips a ball out to Sam Maximin on the left-hand side. The noise levels go up as Sam Maximin goes dribbling, lays it off to his left. Cross comes in towards En-Nesyri again. Manchester United deal with it for now. They've not got it clear just yet though. Here's Sam Maximin looking at wriggle into space on the edge of the box. He's lost it. Ericsson has it, and the pass to Casemiro is short, and Manchester United cannot afford to do that too often in the second half.
Yeah, they've had a real reshuffle, haven't they, Manchester United in personnel. Dalot at right back, Mazraoui dropped into his usual left back position with De Ligt.
Another ball in from the left is headed away by Lisandro Martinez, who's now playing at centre-back, of course, with Lindelof going off. Saint-Maximin slides it to Tadic with the cross ball, and Onana flops on it at the near post.
Rashford out on the right-hand side, Garnacho still on the left, Højlund is at number 9, and Eriksen's the one given the licence out the midfield now, not necessarily to play all the time as a 10, but he's also got those defensive responsibilities. The shape is very similar, Eriksen in that 10 role, but actually out of possession he's asked to drop in and make a midfield 3.
So Fenerbahçe boss Jose Mourinho watching the rest of this game from the sidelines. That stemmed from the Asai Samuel tumble in the penalty area when Ugarte just trodden his toes. Referee and the VAR not interested. Garnacho's gone down, caught by Bashar. Referee's not interested in that either. Saw one for Garnacho, he stayed down. Ugarte can't use him as an option. Garnacho's back on his feet. Mazraoui now back at left back, passes across to Martinez. 25 minutes plus added time remaining here in Istanbul. Fenerbahçe 1, Manchester United 1.
Done well Manchester United since conceding, since going behind. Talk about the atmosphere and how intimidating it is, and to concede so quickly after half-time. They've held themselves well in this game.
Garnacho, left-hand side, it was a brilliant back heel flick from Eriksen to find him. Soyuncu clears that cross at the near post. It bounces in front of Eriksen, he can't control it. Tadic has it in the right-back position under a bit of pressure from Eriksen. Red shirt surrounding. Oh, that was brilliant. Back heel and turn, and away he goes. Mazraoui's right there, gets a foot in. Everyone appeals for the throw. Referee says that's going to go Manchester United's way. Got to be strong to be a referee in these stadiums.
I was going to say, he's brave giving that in that corner, isn't he?
Crikey. No, thank you. Mazraoui waits to take the throw for Manchester United. 1-1. Fenerbahçe scoring early in the second half. Martinez heads it to his left. Manchester United attacking. Mazraoui's caught a sore one on the foot there. Another throw in for United. Garnacho throws it in. 5 Live. BBC Sounds, BBC Radio Manchester tonight, bringing you this live from the Shukru Saracoğlu Stadium, home of Fenerbahçe. Mazraoui back to Martinez inside the Fenerbahçe half on the left. Pass out to Garnacho. Garnacho showed a bit too much of that to Bashar, who's able to block him. Garnacho gets another go, turns, tumbles, wins the throw, taking a few knocks as the Manchester United winger, but picking himself up every time.
Like that about Garnacho. He's got that. He does go down, but he always gets up, doesn't he? He bounces back up, and the defenders must get fed up with him, because the next time he gets it, he runs at them, does exactly the same again.
Yeah, he's a fighter, Alejandro Garnacho. He's in good form for Manchester United as well. Throw in from Mazraoui into the feet of Højlund. Rare touch for him since he's come on. Casemiro, ball back to the halfway line, finds Dalot standing on the centre circle here. Whistles and cheers start up again from the home fans. Eriksen lays it off to Martinez. Manchester United enjoying a little bit of possession at the moment, midway through this second half. Ugarte finds Mazraoui. Mazraoui slides it forward to Højlund. Højlund puts his body against the defender, tries to turn, wrestled to the floor. Reaches Mazraoui, right-footed drive, tipped over the bar by Livakovic, who acrobatically then threw himself up in the air, and it's gone behind for the corner.
Yeah, decent save. Not quite the Onana class. It's one that you'd expect Livakovic to make. Does well, Mazraoui on the edge of the box. Only one thing in his mind. Gets the ball out of his feet, whips the ball across. Goalkeeper makes a decent save, but one you would expect him to make.
Jose Mourinho is furiously scribbling notes, handing them to a fellow coach and getting them down to the sidelines here.
He's always the centre of attention. He's just got away, and the TV cameras on him, writing notes, sat in the middle of the crowd.
Fenerbahçe 1, Manchester United 1. United corner, Eriksen's delivery, De Ligt's headed down, tipped over the bar by Livakovic. Not enough power, took the sting out of it, headed it straight down into the ground. It looped up. It'll be another corner for United.
I think he should score, De Ligt. I think that's a really good corner. I think the centre-half gets a decent header on it, 6 yards from goal. Heads it into the ground, but he heads it too near his own feet. Doesn't quite get the purchase on it. He should do better with that, De Ligt.
Another corner for Manchester United will come in from the right. Eriksen will take it. It's an away swinger. Livakovic nowhere near it, stretches. It's headed over the bar and behind this time for a goal kick. EuroLeague's podcast will be there for you. BBC Sounds app first thing tomorrow morning on the Football Daily feed. Latest Fantasy 606 podcast there for you as well. It's a Friday deadline this week, 6:30 deadline on Friday. Got to make your decisions, your changes, your moves, your captaincy calls and all of that.
Maybe that's what Jose's doing.
He's doing his fantasy team. He's remembered it's a Friday deadline. Oh, I'd love to get him on the pod. I tell you, that would be quite something. Jose Mourinho on Fantasy 606, I can hear it now. Mazraoui clears with his right foot up towards Højlund. Can't bring it under control. Soyuncu smashes it high in the air, headed away by De Ligt. This has turned into a right old battle second half. Fred on the ball. Wide to Tadic. Tadic shifted onto his left foot. Risky pass back towards the halfway line. Rashford was interested in that for a second. Soyuncu now takes control. Tottenham still leading AZ Alkmaar by a goal to nil. Rangers comfortably 3-0 up against FCSB at home tonight. Casemiro, crunching challenge, wins the ball off Fred, fires a pass to his left. Garnacho's on it, 25 yards out. Garnacho hits the drive, always rising over the bar and behind for a goal kick to Fenerbahçe. Paul Robinson.
He had options there, Garnacho. The right hand side, Dalot was bombing on. Rashford to his left. He only had one thing on his mind, though. He's too far out. He hits a shot, it's nowhere near. It flies very, very high and wide of the goal. But Casemiro there, that's what he's all about. He's criticised at times, Casemiro, for maybe his lack of mobility in midfield, but there he wins a great tackle, breaks the game up, gives it to somebody else, and Garnacho wastes the opportunity.
Just watching the histrionics from Jose Mourinho that saw him sent off. I mean, was that initial red card for him? Was it for one of his fellow coaching staff? As it's delivered, Mourinho's pointing and saying, what me?
I think two of them went. I think two of them went. There's not a seat to be had in the stadium, so I don't know where they're sat.
someone's kindly moved for the boss. Rashford's gone down, one Manchester United free kick. Fenerbahçe fans think it's a soft one. 20 minutes to play. I'll tell you what, if Manchester United come away from here with a point, with all the injuries, unbeaten in the Europa League, 3 points from 3 and 5 games to go, I think that'll be a decent night's work, Paul.
I think looking, we know it was going to be a tough ask for them coming here tonight. I think because they've drawn the two previous games, you look and you talk about the game. Pre-game, you say, look, they should win this game.
Edna Siri looking for the run of Fred. Good interception from Ugarte. He's done that a few times tonight.
But actually, when you're here in the stadium, you see the way that Fenerbahçe are, you see the atmosphere. A performance away at Porto and a performance away here tonight. We don't know what the golden nugget number is, do we, for the top echelons of this Europa League top 16. So a point here may be very, very valuable. But I tell you what is valuable to Erik ten Hag, the performance that his team's given him tonight.
Opta are saying that the red card was for foul and abusive language from the Fenerbahçe manager.
Surprising.
Jose Mourinho watching the rest of this one in the stands. Onana for Manchester United, that incredible double save in the first half. It's 1-1 still. Dalot, indefatigable, driving forward for Manchester United. Wide to Rashford. Rashford going for the long crossfield ball towards Garnacho. Chests it down, doesn't find a teammate. Tadic thumps it forward. Martinez is there, stoops, wins the header, nods it to Casemiro, who lays it off to Ugarte. Ugarte decides to pass back into his own half. Across to Matthijs de Ligt, and de Ligt takes his time, rolls it back to Onana. Saint-Maximin closes in, Onana on his left foot, floats it forward, nodded down by Casemiro to Mazraoui. Back to Martinez, couple of touches from him inside his own half, runs forward, Eriksen tries to lay it off to him as he continued his run down the left, got too much on it, and it's gone out for a throw to Fenerbahçe on the right. 18 minutes plus added time remaining. Another Manchester United change coming, rare appearance for Anthony this season. He's coming on for Marcus Rashford. So Anthony so far this season, one start in the League Cup against Barnsley, scored a goal from the penalty spot, and 3 substitute appearances.
It's an interesting one for me. Erik ten Hag bringing him on at this stage of the game. It's a fiercely fought game, what you described as a battle, a real battle, and I'm not so sure that he's the type of player that's cut out for this. He's got some real defensive duties to do. He's come on the right hand side, so he's going to have to track Saint-Maximin back the whole way, and that's not something that is natural to him in his game.
Casemiro sliding in, the ball's gone out for a Fenerbahçe throw on the right hand side. Anderlecht lead Ludogorets by a goal to nil in the Europa League this evening. Tadic has decided to leave that for Djiku. Throw in for Fenerbahçe, about 8 yards up from the byline on the right. Thrown in towards Fred, he's in a tight spot there. Eriksen blocks him, the ball runs to Eriksen again, clears with his right foot. Højlund trying to turn and chase this ball. Soyuncu with the long flowing hair gets there first, knocks it back to his goalkeeper Livakovic, all in blue. The Fenerbahçe keeper outside his penalty area. Manchester United stand off in Fenerbahçe 1, Manchester United won the game very much in the balance, and if Fenerbahçe were to get a winner, goodness knows what the decibel level is going to be like then. Livakovic, ball at his feet, another goal at Ibrox, Ali Baba.
And it is another one for Rangers. They are absolutely cruising. It is a first goal for Hamza Egeman. He picked it up and he drove, he took the defender on, put it one way then the other, and then just lovely little right foot effort into the side netting. It is Rangers 4, FCSB 0.
Some atmosphere there in Glasgow tonight, and it's been one here as well in Istanbul. Fenerbahçe won, Manchester United won. Manchester United at the moment, Paul, seem to be trying to take the sting out of it, slowing it down, keeping the ball. And
they've done well. Like I said, since they conceded the goal, they could have quite easily conceded another with the pressure that Fenerbahçe have had, the possession they've had. And when you do concede in an atmosphere like this, sometimes you do fold, and we have seen Manchester United do that this season, but they haven't. They've shown character, they've got on the ball, nobody's shied away from having the ball, they've kept possession, and as you can hear from the crowd in the background, Manchester United once again in possession of the football.
Good challenge on Ugarte, who was receiving the pass from Mazraoui. He didn't see the tackle coming in, he's committed the foul on Szymanski, and Fenerbahçe will get the free kick. Reminder as well, second day of the third test in Rawalpindi, will be live full commentary from the TMS team. Sports Extra tomorrow at 5:45 our coverage will start. Pakistan will start 194 runs behind, 73 for 3 after England made 267. We'll get more thoughts from René Moulenstein in just a second as Fenerbahçe have taken their free kick. Tadic might have lost this on the halfway line. What can Manchester United do? Brilliant ball from Eriksson to find Højlund. Anthony to his right, still Højlund, hits the shot, it's too weak, and Livakovic gets down to his right and makes the save. That could have been the golden chance, René.
Yes, and that is the thing in those games. You need to take those chances, like the chance that Marcus Rashford had before after a fantastic ball from Casemiro. And especially, like you said, Paul, as well, they've done really, really well after that pressure from Fenerbahçe in the early stages of the game, but they settled themselves down again, keep the ball well, and they're creating these chances, but they have to take one.
Porto now lead Hoffenheim by 2-0 in the Europa League this evening. Manchester United have got Alain Saint-Maximin to worry about. Little trick from him, low ball into the box. Onana came for it. Martinez taking no chances there before his keeper clears with his right foot. Anthony brings it down as it dropped high out of the sky. He's lost it. It's gone out for a throw-in to Fenerbahçe. Still 1-1 here. What about at Tottenham, John Southall?
Still Tottenham 1, AZ Alkmaar 0, but great chance for Alkmaar. Mekaledo through on goal, one-on-one. Great save by Forster with his legs. Not over this. Tottenham 1, AZ Alkmaar 0.
14 minutes remaining here. Fenerbahçe 1, Manchester United 1. The Turkish international Irfan Kaveci waiting to come on for Fenerbahçe. Ismail Yüksek as well, another Turkish international. Looks like it's going to be a double change. Maybe that's what Jose Mourinho was scribbling down and passing the notes down to those who are still able to watch the game from the technical area. Amrabat passes to the Brazilian Bachau. He's now gone in at centre-back, having come on to replace Jose Samuel at right-back, and Djiku has gone out to the right-back position. Mulder, high ball, straight down the middle of the pitch. Tadic is battling here with Mazraoui. Manchester United get it clear for now. Mazraoui steps in, gets a toe on the ball. It's loose inside the Manchester United half. Mazraoui again runs away with it, knocks it to Garnacho. Brilliant first touch, takes him away from Djiku. He's got Fenerbahçe on the back foot, he's overrun it, and Bachau is able to stick a foot on it and play it out for Fenerbahçe. Manchester United scurrying around to win it back. Ugarte over Keane, knocks over Djiku. That's going to be a free kick for Fenerbahçe. Paul Robinson.
That's unlike Garnacho. He's got a clear run into goal then. It's just a really bad touch. His first touch gets the ball caught under his feet, so he has to dig it out, and his second touch, it's just too big a touch, and he runs out of room. He does brilliantly well to get away from Djiku in the first place. Turnover possession again on the counter-attack. Pace of Garnacho is a real threat, but as I say, unlike him, an uncharacteristic heavy touch.
It's going to be a triple change for Fenerbahçe. Dusan Tadic is one of those to come off. Yüksek we mentioned, Kaveci we mentioned, and Edin Dzeko, former Manchester City man, who's continued to plunder goals. A across the continent, now doing it for Fenerbahçe. He's going to come on up front. En-Nesyri, I think, stays on the field. Saint-Maximin is coming off. The new Saints now lead 2-0 in the Conference League tonight. They lead Astana by 2-0. Copenhagen have equalised against Real Betis in the Conference League. That game is 1-1, and Besiktas are 1-0 up away to Lyon. So triple change made by Fenerbahçe. Kvechi comes on, Szymanski pushes over to the left-hand side. Dzeko is through the middle. En-Nesyri did go off, did he? En-Nesyri did go off. He was one of the 3 to go off. So that's a straight swap through the middle. Edin Dzeko, now 38 years old, 25 goals he scored here last season, and he's going to be a handful for Lisandro Martinez to deal with initially. Long ball toward Dzeko, headed away by the Argentine. Just over 10 minutes to play. Fenerbahçe 1, Manchester United 1. Tottenham still leading AZ Alkmaar by 1-0. Rangers are going to enjoy a thumping win tonight at home against FCSB. They're leading by 4-0. Throw in for Fenerbahçe. Then the cross comes in from the right from Djiku, flicked up in the air by Amrabat. Dzeko trying to get on the end of it, on the edge of the box. Anthony is back there, swings a left boot at it and clears. Fred knocks it down that right-hand touchline for Kvechi to chase. Casemiro holds him off, and it goes behind for the goal kick. Concentration now, Paul, absolutely crucial.
Yeah, just looking at the lineup by Fenerbahçe, he's made the changes, Jose. This is his last roll of the dice. Gone really attacking. He's got 3 players in behind Dzeko. Got Szymanski playing out on the left-hand side, Kvechi on this right-hand side, and 2 number 10s, if you like. They're not settling for a draw here, Fenerbahçe, but by doing that, they give Manchester United the opportunity, and they're going to leave spaces.
Great centre-forward play from Rasmus Højlund, battling with Soyuncu. He's won the free kick. He gets Manchester United up the field. Manchester United, 1 defeat in the last 6 games. With just 1 win in those 6 games, and that came against Brentford. This looks like it might be heading for another draw, but I don't think they'd be too unhappy with that, with 5 games still to go in these Europa League group stages. The ball is back with Martinez for Manchester United, just inside the Fenerbahçe half in a central position. De Ligt plays to his right, to Dalot. Dalot back to De Ligt, and De Ligt will come all the way back to Onana. Onana, edge of the box. Dzeko closes in. Onana's taking his time. Got to be careful. Low ball out to the right. Finds De Ligt. Little trick from him. Beats Szymanski. Drives it forward. Looking for that diagonal towards Garnacho. Headed away by Djiku. Mazraoui nearly took a knock in the face there from Kvechi. Kvechi and Fred have worked it well. Fred continues his run down the right-hand side. The former Manchester United man now with the ball on his left foot. Curls that cross in. De Ligt, not the best header really. Goes straight up in the air. Nodded down by Yukshek. Intercepted there by Anthony. Fenerbahçe have it back. Central position. They might have given that away to Anthony. Chases this ball hard for Manchester United. Keeps it, and then he's tackled as he makes a run down the right, and Manchester United get the throw.
That's twice he's lost possession, Anthony. Once he just gives Fenerbahçe possession back there. He makes the wrong decision, gets challenged easily. He needs to be a little bit more careful with the ball, be a little bit more clever.
Here's Eriksson, always clever on the ball. Pass to the right, finds Garnacho. Garnacho, good run, drops the shoulder. Clipped on the edge of the penalty area. Referee's got sharp eyes on that one. Half a yard further forward, and that's a penalty. That is right on the edge of the box. Garnacho's beaten his man, and he was definitely caught.
I was definitely caught. It's not the first time he's done GQ as well, but I think it is. The referee's called it right. He's right on the spot, the referee. You've got to give him credit. And it is outside the box. Garnacho falls into the box. Free kick right on the corner of the 18-yard box, right on the very tip.
Christian Eriksen will take it. Nasty one for the goalkeeper, this, Paul, because it's one of those that sometimes you can curl this ball in on the right path, no one gets a touch, and it ends up in the back of the net.
That's exactly what Christian Eriksen will probably look to do. You look at the far post there, where he's literally on our eye line. We see the player, the ball, and the far post. He's got a line to the far post, and the hard thing for the goalkeeper, all the bodies will rush across the front of him, and he can't react until there's a touch. And if there isn't one, he ends up looking silly.
Big moment in the game. 8 minutes left. Fenerbahçe 1, Manchester United 1. Whistles shrill inside the stadium, trying to put Manchester United off. Here's Eriksen with that delivery. Low bouncing one, takes a touch. Livakovic was diving, it never got anywhere near him. Fenerbahçe have cleared, and all of a sudden there on the break with Kvechi. Garnacho's back to try and block, gets a foot on it. Ball spins away to Yukshek, finds Kvechi in space. Garnacho, tired, jogging back, isn't going to get there to cover it. Kvechi just runs into Martinez. Martinez makes the tackle, and Kvechi's fouled in. Free kick, Manchester United.
Uses his experience there, Martinez. Really good tackle and gets himself the free kick.
End to end at the moment. Suddenly Antony's on the ball for Manchester United. Hoyland makes the run on the outside. Antony goes on the inside. Left-footed pass, finds Garnacho on the edge of the books, trying to make space for the shot, hits it well. Livakovic gets down and makes the save. 1-1.
He's frustrated again, Garnacho. That's a brilliant opportunity for him. Cuts inside again on his right foot, and he's got the whole of the goalkeeper's left-hand side to look at. He executes it weakly for him. It just bobbles into the goalkeeper's hands. Goalkeeper doesn't really have to dive for it, collects it comfortably. He should be curling that round the goalkeeper, round the far post. He knows it's a good opportunity gone begging.
Fenerbahçe 1, Manchester United 1. Thrilling night in Istanbul. So much has happened in the game. De Ligt's header forward. Eriksson tries to help it on towards Hoyland. Soyuncu intercepts. With a strong waft of cigarette smoke blows in the air. Hoyland chases through. Livakovic, that was a bad ball back to him. Had to come sliding out desperately to get onto that ball. Manchester United have it with Martinez. Might open up for them here. Diagonal ball. Antony brings that down well. Leapt up in the air. Controlled it on his chest. Plays back to Ugarte. Oh, Antony's down and hurt at the moment. What are Manchester United going to do? Martinez getting a shout from De Ligt here to stop the game. The referee's done that for him. So when we restart, Manchester United will have the ball in the centre circle, and Antony
holding his ankle,
his left ankle.
I think he did well there. There was a crossfield pass, and he almost took the touch in mid-air. And as he landed, whether he went over on his ankle, I'm not so sure there was any contact on him. We're just waiting to see the replay. But he did go down. There was no one around him. He's holding his ankle. And I mean, it's unusual for the referee to stop the play, because the referee must have seen something. Unless it's a head injury, we don't normally see referees stopping the game.
5 minutes remaining in the game once Antony's back on his feet, plus added time. Still 1-1. Rennie Moulensteen's been watching events for us back in the studio, back home. Overall, Rene, tonight, what have you made of this Manchester United performance?
I think a good performance. I think, as well as if you look at the last 10 minutes, I think they have the upper hand. You know, they look at constant threat. Garnacho on the left looks a constant threat. Is that really final, decision and the final ball that needs to come off to get that winner, but it's definitely there.
So Manchester United looking slightly concerned about their teammate Antony, who remains down. Fenerbahçe players in conversation with the referee. Slight lull in the noise levels as well. It's been some night tonight, hasn't it, Paul? It's been electric in here.
It's been incredible. I mean, the game's had everything, hasn't it? We talked about Onana's incredible double save, the block from Ugarte that now seems like a lifetime ago. Jose again, box office, we're seeing pictures of him. He hasn't even got a seat. Like I said, the stadium's sold out tonight. He's sat on a stairwell. Nobody will even move for the manager.
Antony, where is he now? On his feet, just trying to sort of jog it off, just off the field. On the far side of the pitch to us, Erik ten Hag, hands in pockets, watching with interest as he stares across the pitch. Next challenge for Manchester United, away to West Ham on Sunday. It kicks off at 2. Full commentary of that on 5 Live and BBC Sounds. Drama at Tottenham as well, late drama, John Southall.
Yeah, we've had a late sending off in the game. We're just watching this one again on the replay. David Muller-Wolf with it. It was a second yellow card, and off he goes down to 10 men. AZ Alkmaar, Tottenham 1, Alkmaar 0.
Back underway here in Istanbul. Dalot darting down the right, finds his path blocked. 3.5 minutes plus added time remaining. Antony needs to come off. That's it for Antony. He's just giving it the old twirly finger symbol.
Just signal to the bench, hasn't he? It looks so innocuous. And he went down. Obviously, the home fans think there's a bit of gamesmanship going on, but clearly not. He's clearly hurt. Gone down again on the far side of the field, and it looks like, is it Ahmad that's going to come on and replace him?
Yeah. To be fair to Manchester United, in terms of the sort of running the clock down, gamesmanship, etc., Amad Diallo is ready to go and ready to come on. Antony's gone down on the field. So that's going to take a bit of time to deal with, to get him back off the pitch, to get Ahmad on. Why don't we check in at Ibrox? Late stages, great win. It's going to be a great win, Ali Baba, for Rangers tonight.
An absolutely fantastic win for them. A great night for them as well, and exactly the kind of performance Philippe Clement wanted to see after the disappointment at the weekend. They've been on the front foot. They're just playing the game out now, but they've scored 4 really, really good goals. FCSB, they've hardly really troubled Rangers at all. Rangers have been strong in defence and they have been clinical in attack, and they're now just going to see out the remaining 5 minutes or so of this one before they celebrate a really, really important and very well deserved European victory. It is at the moment Rangers 4, FCSB 0.
Yes, going into the games this evening, I think there were 5 teams on 2 wins out of 2. FCSB were one of them. Tottenham were one of them as well, of course, and they're heading for 3 out of 3. Lyon, Anderlecht and Lazio the other 3. Anthony is leaving the field on a stretcher and looks pretty upset with his hands across his eyes here. We haven't got a close-up on his face. Fenerbahçe fans have absolutely no sympathy. I think he's just playing games. Amad Diallo is going to come on for Manchester United. Looks like he plays out the moment,
doesn't he, Anthony? Looks in real discomfort, doesn't he? I mean, we've not had a chance to see the incident again because it was on the far side of the field as well.
Yeah.
But for somebody like Anthony, who's on the fringes trying to perform tonight, to get an opportunity to show Ten Hag what he can do and try and get into his starting 11. I mean, he's been on the pitch less than 5 minutes, and that looks like another one that's going to add to Erik Ten Hag's lengthy injury list. That doesn't like it's going to be a quick fix for Erik Ten Hag. He's gone off on a lot of pain on the stretcher.
That's the voice of Paul Robinson, former England goalkeeper. 5 Live, BBC Sounds and BBC Radio Manchester tonight as well. Mert Hakan Yandas is going to come on for Fenerbahçe late on in this game. I think it's Sebastian Szymanski who's coming off on the far side of the field. We're into the 90th minute of the game. Christian Eriksen scored in the 15th minute on the counter-attack. Fenerbahçe thought they'd scored on a couple of occasions. Ugarte's brilliant block, Onana's astonishing double save. They got their goal early in the second half. You worried for Manchester United at that point, but they've held Fenerbahçe at bay, and at the moment they're heading for 3 wins out of 3 at the start of the Europa League group stages. Next game for Manchester United at home to PAOK Salonika. Here's De Ligt across to Martinez. 5 minutes of added time. Thought it might be a little bit more than that. Mazraoui to Casemiro. Casemiro's ball forward, not the best. Djiku heads it away. Knocked back into the Fenerbahçe half. Soyuncu's up to win a header. Mazraoui cushions a little header forward to Eriksen. Garnacho's challenged strongly. He's lost the ball. Højlund comes back to try and take it off Fred. Fred holds him off. Plays back to Amrabat. Goes wide to Fred on the right. Down the line to Kvetchi. Casemiro steps in to try and win it. Garnacho's in a tight spot. He's tackled. And that's going to be a Manchester United throw.
Both going at it, aren't they? We're entering the last 5 minutes here, the injury time, the added time in the game. And both teams, every time they get the ball, they're looking to get forward. They're looking to try and win this game.
Lazio heading for 3 wins out of 3 at the start of the Europa League group stages as well. Now 2-0 up away to FC Twente, who held both Fenerbahçe and Manchester United to draws in their first 2 games. Martinez, ball to Eriksen, nearly found his fellow Dane Højlund. It comes back to Soyuncu, puts his right foot through it. De Ligt is able to intercept that for Manchester United. 4 minutes of the game remaining. We're into added time now. Here's Mazraoui, who started the night as the number 10. In for the suspended Bruno Fernandes, has ended up at left back, driving a ball from left back with his right foot. Great pass to the feet of Diallo. Little trick from him, brought down edge of the box, and Manchester United get another free kick in a very promising position. Yellow card for the challenge as well.
It's a great ball by Mazraoui. Left back all the way across into the right wing position. Amad takes, it's his first touch, sucks the defender in, just tips it round him, and he's caught him, and it's a free kick, as you say, Ali, in a really dangerous position with the delivery and the quality that Christian Eriksen's got. They're putting everybody forward here, Manchester United, for this last free kick.
One of the reasons why Christian Eriksen has been a regular starter in this team, that quality from the set pieces. So this one, right on the corner of the Fenerbahçe box, Manchester United's right. Amad Diallo could deliver with his left foot, which would be an in-swinger, or the outswinger from Eriksen. Deep into added time. Fenerbahçe 1, Manchester United 1. Can Manchester United steal the points? De Ligt, always a threat from the set pieces, just lurking, holding off defenders here inside the penalty area. The referee giving very clear instructions to a 3-man Fenerbahçe wall. Now he steps into the penalty area to have a word with all the players in there as well. I've got my eye on you. Any pulling, any tugging, I won't be afraid to give a penalty, he says. That'll be a brave penalty to give late in the game here. Waiting for the whistle now. You won't hear it inside this noise. Eriksson gets ready to deliver. In it comes, headed away to the edge of the box. Mazraoui gets underneath the shot, nearly puts it in the second tier of the stand behind the goal. Away to the left, it remains 1-1.
Well, that was the shot of a left back, not the number 10 that started the game. I mean, it was a real good opportunity for Manchester United. Ball cleared to the edge of the box to Mazraoui. Hit it on his left foot. Well, I don't think it was his left foot, I think it was his shin as it rose, and it went flying high above the crossbar.
Wouldn't have counted anyway. Offside flag was up, and Fenerbahçe are going to restart the game with a free kick. We've only got 2 minutes left. It has been highly entertaining, an incredible football experience tonight. It always is when you come and watch these games in Turkey. We really hope you've enjoyed it, listening to it on 5 Live, BBC Sounds and BBC Radio Manchester tonight. Kaveci's ball finds Fred. Here's a little step over on the right from the other substitute, Yandas, tackled. Out it goes for a throw to Fenerbahçe. 90 seconds to play. Manchester United with some late defending to do. Referee just having a little word, trying to help his fourth official out.
It's the Fenerbahçe, the bench again. They're going to have nobody left on there tonight.
5 or 6 of them out there trying to get their points across onto the field. Just over a minute to play now. Throw in, that's awful. That is awful. From Djiku, he throws it down the right. The ball goes straight out of play for a goal kick to Manchester United. Thank you very much, they say.
Complete waste by Djiku, as you can tell by the home fans, the booing in the background. This is it now. Onana's going to go long. You fear there may be one last chance for Manchester United in this game.
Anderlecht pegged back late on by Ludogorets, so it doesn't look like they're going to make it 3 wins out of 3. Is it going to be 3 draws out of 3? Fenerbahçe have given the ball away, but Manchester United can't keep it. It comes off Garnacho's right thigh. He looks tired now, wide on the left-hand side. It goes out for a throw-in to the home team. 30 seconds to play. We've seen it all and heard it all in this stadium tonight, and it looks like the two teams are going to end up sharing a point. That will put Manchester United on 3 points, Fenerbahçe on 5 points. The ball hits Dzeko on the back on the halfway line, and Manchester United get a late free kick, but it's going to come from deep inside their own half. Casemiro was fouled.
Yeah, Amrabat just catches Casemiro as he turns the ball over. Casemiro behind him, Amrabat just catches him. Just looking at the Manchester United players' intent here. 2 centre-halves apart from Martinez. All the defenders have gone forward. Martinez is taking the free kick. They are looking long. They're not settling for a draw here, Manchester United. Gone back to Onana, but he is going to put it long into the Fenerbahçe half.
Onana has it inside his own half, and the referee says no more time. A hugely eventful, atmospheric evening is up in Istanbul, and Manchester United come away with a 3rd draw in 3 games in these Europa League group stages. They took the lead through Christian Eriksen early on, pegged back early in the second half. Some incredible defending to keep that lead in the first half initially. The block from Ugarte, the double save from Onana. We had the sending off of Jose Mourinho as well, just to add to the fun of the fair. And in the end, Paul Robinson, it finishes 1-1. That's probably about right, don't you think?
Yeah, it was a fantastic game, a really good game to watch. And from a Manchester United point of view, again for Erik ten Hag, the draw away at Porto, there was a performance in there. The draw away at Villa, the clean sheet, there's a performance in there. The performance last weekend against Brentford in the second half, there's a lot he can take from that. And I'll predict what he's going to say in his press conference now. He's got a lot of players missing. His players that he's got in tonight, he's changed formation a little bit with Mazraoui. He's changed personnel. He's had to put other players in he wouldn't have necessarily picked. He's got a depleted squad, but his team have come out here tonight. They've showed character, their attitude, the application, and they've given him a real performance. He can take a lot of positives from tonight.
The Manchester United manager looks satisfied, deep in conversation with one of his former players, Dusan Tadic. Looking forward to hearing what Jose Mourinho has got to say after the game as well. Really enjoyed it in Istanbul tonight. It's finished Fenerbahçe 1, Manchester United 1.
We'll bring you full-time news from Tottenham and Rangers shortly as well, but René Moulenstein, former Manchester United first-team coach, watching with me in the studio here. What did you make of that? That was, I mean, you don't know where to start really, do you?
No, there's so many things that happened in the game. It was funny to see when Mourinho was sent to the stands. It was the first time I saw him behind bars, so that was funny to watch as well. But it was strange in some ways, because the second half Fenerbahçe started really strong, put a lot of pressure on, got the goal, and you think they will carry on, but they weren't able to maintain it, and that was credit to Manchester United. They kept the ball well. Ten Hag made a few changes. I think they worked well overall. Casemiro did well when he came on, and I think, to be fairly honest, if they look back to that game, in that hostile environment with the pressure all there, I think they will be a little bit disappointed, because I think if I would be there, I think the game was there for the taking. They had the chances. Marcus Rashford in the first half, Marcus Rashford in the second half, and then there were just a sort of half chances, but they were there. And I think if it would have been a boxing match, I think Manchester United would have won on points.
And you picked out Garnacho as well. I mean, he was just. I mean, we talk about the bunnies with the batteries in their back. He was a bit like that, wasn't he? He was a nuisance for Fenerbahçe.
He's a constant threat, and he runs at people. He wins free kicks. Again, once in a while his end product needs to be better. He had this fantastic little dribble inside the box, but then the finish is just not the quality what you need at this level. Because if United again would have scored that second goal, that 100% would have won them the game, and that would have been even better. But like Paul said, there's a lot of positives to take from this game. It was an overall good performance of United.
And you had a feeling, didn't you, Paul, that we were talking about him before the game. You can't not talk about Jose Mourinho. He's just an attention sponge, isn't he?
I wondered what you were going to say. I thought you were going to say it's Seeker, but he just doesn't seem to get out of the way of it, does he? I mean, there was the contentious, that was nowhere near contentious penalty decision. The referee got it right; it wasn't a penalty. But the box office, the drama, it all erupted on the bench. And he's box office, isn't he? He's brilliant. You know what you're going to get with Jose. Can't wait to listen to his press conference if actually he goes to it, because sometimes managers, after they've been sent off, they do send their assistants. But actually, his assistant was sent off as well, I think. So it'll be interesting to see who does the post-match presser for Fenerbahçe. But yeah, Jose again will be the talking point. But it's a good talking point, isn't it? I mean, it was a spectacle tonight, and it's what Jose loves.
Yeah, like a combustible manager and a combustible atmosphere like that. I'll tell you what, it strikes me, Rene, that the referee had a good game, because to keep control and make the right decisions with that noise.
Very, very good, very calm, very experienced referee. We've seen him in many, many big games, and he led the game really, really well. Didn't let anything slip out of his hand. No unnecessary bookings or cards. So no, really, really well done from the referee.
Ali, just remind us of what United have to come, because they've got 3 draws from 3 games, but potentially things get easier from here.
Yeah, I mean, I would say so, Ellie. I think a couple of the tougher games, Porto away, this one away tonight, and Manchester United have got through those with a couple of draws. So 3 points from 3 games. Next up, PAOK Salonika at home, and then Bodo Glimt at home. So 2 games at Old Trafford. That, if Manchester United continue to show that sort of performance, you definitely make them favourites for. Later on in the group, 2 games in January, the really big one, and Rangers have had a big win tonight, haven't they? Manchester United Rangers in the penultimate group game at Old Trafford in January will be a cracker. But I think Manchester United fans will look at that table at the moment and think, oh, we're miles off it. Tottenham 3 wins out of 3 at the top or whatever. I would just keep calm. Let's see how they go in the next couple of games, and if they continue to play like that, get some wins on the board, then they can start thinking about pushing up that table and hopefully finishing in the top 8, so they can go straight through to the last 16.
Yeah, just on that, Ali, with the games coming up, but I myself personally, I'm not too worried about the Rangers game. I'm a little bit more, not worried is a bit of that, not the right word, but don't underestimate Bodo Glimt.
Right.
Because I've seen them play in various games, and they've got a game plan, they go for it, and they've surprised a few opponents, so they can't take that too lightly, in my opinion.
Yeah, am I right? I think Rene, I think they might have beaten a Jose Mourinho Roma team. Is that right, in Europe? That rings a bell. That rings a bell in my head. So, yeah, you're right.
So many little subtexts to all of this. It's fascinating. Bringing you Europa League commentary on a Thursday night throughout this tournament. Fascinating stuff. Thank you so much to Rene. Thank you to Paul and to Ali as well out in Istanbul. Let's wrap up the other nights.